Hey.
Hi, Michael. Hey.
Hello there.
How are you? Can you see us?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Long time.
I know. How you guys doing?
Really good. Where are you, Michael?
I'm in Montreal.
Cool. So am I.
Oh, yeah? I came here to see my dad, and then the COVID thing hit, and then I realized I couldn't get out. And then I realized how much I like being here, and I feel like I want to buy a house here now.
Right.
So it ended up being good. How are you guys doing? Evelyn, you're in Maria, where are you?
I'm in Dublin.
Yay!
Oh, wow. Hey, Tat.
Hi, how's it going?
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Very, very well, very well. So nice to see all these lovely, familiar faces.
I know it's been, when was the last time this happened? I don't even think for the read-through.
I've never done like a Skype thing or anything like that.
No?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't even read the script, so I'm actually I'm so curious to like figure out what's going on.
I feel like that's what happened in your audition too. You're like, so wait, who are these guys?
No, but I wanted to read it, and I thought, it might be more fun to discover it while I.
Yeah. It's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
And
fun.
we're all reading, so that's fine. I made a big effort to learn my lines today, and I got about halfway through them, and then had to do 4 hours of homeschooling. So
Yeah.
Did you really learn your lines, Maria?
no, I don't have that much to learn, but I went back to look at them, but I couldn't manage to do it with the many demands of my ridiculous family. Anyway,
They're good lines too. I'd forgotten like season 1 stuff, but like I'm the cold turkey asshole. I was like, this is so good.
Hey, I'm the asshole in this show.
You are. You're the dick.
I think we all took turns really
Yeah.
behaving badly. I think
Yeah.
that was the big thing.
What time are we at? Let's see here.
5 to.
Okay.
I hear my husband singing Harry Belafonte downstairs.
But get him to see it.
It's Laurier's new passion for Harry Belafonte.
Yay! Oh, she's got her scarf.
Oh,
Of course, I almost forgot it. I was just about to hit Zoom, then I was like, oh no, wait, the scarf.
No, the most vital aspect.
Yeah.
Oh my
Who
God.
am I if I don't have a scarf on?
You look great. How are you doing?
Good. Today's a good day. The weather was beautiful yesterday, so that always
Yes.
helps. Right?
Catherine.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Hi,
nice.
everybody. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Natty.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Catherine. So exciting.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, you guys have sistering T-shirts. That's even cooler. I should have got one of those.
that's
or
so
one or something.
Yeah.
Cool. You can get one shipped out to you.
Wow,
They're
those are cool.
brilliant
Yeah.
sistering. It's brilliant people.
Super cool.
You
Really
should probably
brilliant.
say hi to Clone Club too, because Clone Club's in the house.
Hi, Clone Club.
Hi, Clone Club.
Hi.
We're all just gathering for this reading for you guys, and we're very excited to be doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Inga's got a full
Hi.
professional setup going on.
I do. I always have the professional, because you know what? I don't know how to work the backgrounds. That's all it is. So I have to hide my world creatively.
How are you doing, Inga?
I'm good. I'm really good, actually.
This is a great curated version of my office that you're singing.
Ooh. Oh,
What's
say it
that?
again. Uh-oh.
Who was that?
What happened?
It's hard to know who's frozen and who's not.
I think
So everyone
Nat-
has to move.
Natalie, I think you were frozen.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
I'm back now.
Yeah, you're
Good
back.
times.
We gotcha.
I had that problem before.
You hit a freeze or something. Are we going to just stop for a couple of minutes and then pick up again, or?
No, I think we just keep going through.
Okay.
And we'll go through both episodes. John.
Hi, John.
Hello, you all.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I think I'm gonna cry a little. Oh boy.
I know, this is like emotional.
Evelyn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you're looking forward to
Graham
it.
coming out in full force.
Michael.
Hey, John.
Oh, Michael Orlando. I'm so happy to see Michael.
How are you, Ingrid?
I'm
Good,
happy
how
to
are
see all of
you?
you.
It's been a long
Good. So
time.
nice to see everybody.
Natalie.
You too.
Hey,
Hey.
so cool.
Are these your board games in the back, John? What's that?
A few of my board games, yeah, and I've got like the family picture there. which I
Oh,
still
yeah.
Are you in Toronto, John?
I am, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you get the chickens?
Not yet.
Did you get the chickens?
He's getting
It's
chickens.
my little backyard project during the pandemic, so I'm going to get some chickens.
Some people get puppies. John gets chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Exactly.
Is it because you want to have your own eggs, John?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's smart.
Hi, Becky.
Oh my gosh! Yay!
Oh boy.
Josh.
Wow. Blast.
Hey.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hey, man.
Everybody. Lovely to see you.
How's it
Hi,
going?
Graham.
You guys too.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
It's a
man.
cool background. Wow.
I'm trying to fix it.
Graham wins every time in the background. He's just like the background king.
Josh, what are you eating?
Right.
You got to share.
Like avocado and cabbage. It's like a Buddha bowl.
Sounds good.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I like Eric. That's amazing.
Eric's got the
Oh, nice
Hey,
background,
you got-
John.
going on.
So
Look
Canadian.
at that.
Yeah.
Sustenance.
No frills.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Hey, Graham, you got a green screen behind you?
No, I'm just doing it with Zoom.
It's a whole thing.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does Eric. You guys got some cool backgrounds.
Eric's like the no frills background.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
I think we should say it again. We should say hello to our wonderful Clone Club.
Hi, Clone Club.
We're
Hi,
still
guys.
trickling in.
Love
but
you
we're gonna
guys.
Start the reading very soon, and we're just so excited to get to do this. Selfishly, because Christian Bro's in the house.
Yay.
Got his shirt ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, ready for. We've got sheet, but it sort of looks like blue, and then I'm gonna
Yeah, great. Great.
Amazing.
What's up, Jen? Hey, Dylan.
Oh,
Here comes
Dylan.
Hey, how are you? Oh my god!
Oh,
Look
yeah.
What's
up?
Great photo, John.
Two balls. One.
Amanda, what's up?
What's up, Christian?
How you doing?
How you doing, Dylan? How you guys doing?
buddy? Good.
So nice to see you guys.
Gosh, holy shit!
Do we have
Maddie.
Jordan?
Oh, I'll be right back.
Where's Jordan?
Uh-oh. Christian left.
Hey.
Ready?
What's up,
I
Josh?
think I want to start talking a bit about why we're doing all this today, which is also just like selfishly so much fun for us to get to read these scripts again and play these characters again and see each other, because I don't think this has happened in, I don't even know when this group has all been together, the OGs. But we're really happy that we get to do this for Clone Club, because we know this is such a difficult time right now, and everyone's, going through it. And we feel, especially, a lot of love for our LGBTQ community who are, suffering in a different way than most people, and particularly at risk at this time. So we are raising money for 2 charities today.
Yep.
And we can show some of our signs if we want to show off our, oh yeah. So we've got, oh wow, Eric. Yes, Eric. Eric.
Whoa.
Wins. Eric won.
And mine is backwards.
Graham, that's pretty great too.
Jeez, Eric.
Nice, guys.
Flip book.
So the first charity that we're raising money for is Centerlink. And here's a bit of info about Centerlink. Centerlink is an organization that supports the development of strong, sustainable LGBTQ community centers. And they do this across 45 states. They do this in Puerto Rico, in the District of Columbia, China, Australia, and Canada. So they're incredible, and they really believe that these centers are like a primary force of change in terms of empowerment and centering the LGBTQ community. So yeah, they do peer counseling, they do support groups, physical and mental health services. So we really want to help them out because they have incredible global reach. Then, since we're doing 2 episodes, we're doing 2 charities. And our second charity is Sistering Toronto, which we can all show here as well.
Again.
And there's a couple different links for Sistering. So some people have just put the website, and then other people have this URL. And Sistering, Maria, you said that you lived near Sistering here in Toronto, right?
Yes, I did. When I was living there, they operated just up the road from me in the west side. I'm sure they have more than one venue they work out of, but they were very, very close to us. And I just met a few people who were working there, and I saw some of the people they were involved with, some of their clients, and they do incredible work in very, very difficult circumstances. I take my hat off to them. I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah, and they're a multi-service agency for at-risk, socially isolated women and trans people in Toronto who are homeless or precarious.
Is that my internet or is that Maria?
Definitely a group of people who require a lot of help right now. The homeless people are suffering in disproportionate amount. So yeah, and also a Toronto-based charity, which is great because we filmed in Toronto. And Andrew is here.
What's up, Kevin?
Handsome Hanchard.
Hanchy.
Of course, Kevin's late.
Hanch.
Of course, Kevin is late.
And Will, hey Will.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
Will, are you in a car?
I'm in a car. I'm in a car outside a construction zone, right before a mix for an episode of a show I'm working.
Wow.
Wow.
Real soldier.
My sound is terrible. It's like they're cracking concrete or something like that, like 20 feet away. So I may go on mute and just enjoy the actors.
We can't hear anything, Will.
No.
Yeah.
You're fine, brother.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
also missing Jordan, so you might have to be Jordan for this.
Hey, Dylan.
And Mackie, there's Jordan. Great.
Jordan.
There he is. Shuba fudging audio. Oh,
Jordan,
Marty.
did you pluck your brows for this?
No, but I flat ironed my hair and I burned myself so many times. Attaboy.
Amazing.
Guys.
Evelyn, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Long time no see.
Way too long.
Yeah.
This is making me super emotional. Yeah, lovely. Hi, guys.
Natalie, nice to see you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
And Josh,
Jordan.
look at your face. Look at Josh's face.
Josh's face is from eating food.
Yes, yeah. Put down my food for now.
So do we want to get started?
Yeah.
We want to read
Yeah.
2 episodes of Orphan Black, the series.
Let me get the Karen.
Yeah, yes, Christian.
Question: when do you want us to hold up signs? Can we come up with an idea for that, or is it just like every once in a while?
Whenever you want.
Just whenever.
Got it.
And are the signs, is this backward to you?
Mine's
No,
backwards.
it looks
too.
good.
Oh no, yours
looks
is good.
good.
Mine's the only one that's backwards.
No, mine's backwards too.
Mine is backward too, no?
I
No,
think
it's
I don't know how I
No,
didn't
yours is
figure
good.
it out.
No,
There's
Inga's,
probably
yours looks
it's
fine.
You're fine.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just backwards to me and my camera.
That's right.
Yes.
And you're laughing at me.
When you're ready.
I love it. I
Is
love
mine
it.
okay?
Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. I was so embarrassed.
We're good. We're good.
All right.
Wonderful. All right. Since I'm
Guys,
eating some other
meeting.
part.
So, should we do it?
Here is bells. Are we on?
Steaks and all.
Okay, are you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready. Okay, hold on.
Nobody knows.
How's my eye line? If I'm looking here reading the script tonight, is it terrible? Is it distracting?
Graham, you're distracting me.
Oh man.
Hey, beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
So good.
Thank you, Kieran. Yeah.
Stop that, Natalie.
Beautiful.
You stop that, Natalie, right now.
I am just crying. Whoa.
All right, let's do it, guys.
Orphan Black, episode 106, written by Will Pascoe, sitting in his car. We open in Allison's house. It's early morning. Dawn, sun rises over quiet suburbia. Inside, in the master bedroom, Donnie snores in bed. He's dead to the world. Beside him, Allison's in cozy flannel pajamas. She stares at his back as Donnie lets out another rumbling snore. She peeks over his shoulder, makes sure he's really asleep. From a nanny cam PV, we see real-time black and white surveillance as Allison climbs out of bed, careful not to disturb her husband. She stealthily moves to her hidden nanny cam, leans in to check and make sure it's still on, and it is. She looks back to Donnie and tiptoes out of the room. Now we're in Beth's townhouse, close on Paul's keepsake box. Inside are Beth letters, Paul's military photos, and decorations.
My problems didn't start in the military. They started out of uniform as a private contractor. My buddy, well, he didn't make it. You understand? I'm not doing any of this by choice.
He's sitting in the kitchen talking to Sarah, making coffee. He's a cipher now. She can read military in the precise way he makes the coffee. No wasted moves.
So they forced you to be her monitor for 2 years without ever knowing why?
You're some kind of hustler. You understand leverage, right? The difference is, well, you chose to infiltrate Beth's life to screw her boyfriend wild right on the counter right there.
And you weren't even you.
And you weren't you either. I don't think you understand how serious this is. We need to try and be honest with each other. Sarah.
Off Sarah, she's wondering what to believe. We go to Allison's basement, her craft room, early morning. On screen, Donnie's still asleep in the bed, the live nanny cam feed. Reveal Allison at her laptop, watching the feed. She taps the trackpad, rewinds to the beginning of the memory card. On screen, previous nice footage, Allison peering into the camera and her and Donnie getting into bed earlier. Allison fast forwards through the footage. On screen, she sees weird night vision time lapse of Donnie and Allison asleep. They toss and turn, nothing suspicious. Time speeds by, and then Donnie wakes off his glowing wristwatch. He stands, stares at Allison a moment, and leaves the frame. A moment later, he steps back in, puts on discarded clothes from a nearby chair, eyes his wife again, even creepier, and then he leaves. And that's when Allison stops breathing. She fast forwards, but Donnie doesn't return. She reaches the end of the memory card. Off Allison, her worst fears are coming true. Now we're in Beth's townhouse again in the kitchen. Paul's espresso is ready. He removes it from the stove and pours 2 shots.
Why didn't Beth tell me she had a twin, Sarah?
She didn't know. Look at me, Paul.
Oh, I am.
She holds up a photo.
What's it look like to you?
Well, whatever it is, twin sister. Olivia, I can't find out you switched places with Beth. You want to keep your secrets? Well, you have to play along with mine.
Okay. So what happens to the results of the medical tests that you performed on me?
I wanted to get you away from all that. I was serious about Rio.
Just tell me what happens to the results.
They go to Olivier. From there, I don't know.
Sarah stands and starts to undress because she's getting nowhere with him.
What are you doing?
I'm taking a shower. Gonna wash off this filth. Is that okay with you?
She heads into the bedroom, drops her shirt on the floor, and turns on the shower.
Will those medical tests tell them I'm not Beth?
I don't know what the test you use for. I already explained that.
Convenient, innit? Your existential dilemma.
No, it's operational. This is my world, Sarah. It is you that I'm worried about.
Yeah? What worries you about me?
Whatever it is you're not telling me. Sarah.
She's gone from view. He already knows what she's done. Calmly, he goes to the bedroom. The robe is lying on the floor by the open sliding door. In Allison's house in the kitchen, early morning, Allison's still in her PJs, numb, her hair pulled back. She's staring blankly at Donnie in PJ bottoms and robe.
3 hours to go and the dishes still need to be washed, the drinks cart loaded up, the kids' gift bag sorted out, and do we even get ice? Hello? Did we get ice? Allison, come on. Get with the program here. We got to get moving.
Where did you go in the middle of the night?
I don't know, Neverland?
I woke up. You weren't in bed.
Honey, we don't have time for this. We've got a million things to do, and you are not helping. Just make a list of what we need, and I'll do it when I'm out getting the damn ice.
He exits the kitchen with Allison on his heels. She intercepts him in the foyer where he passes the golf clubs, Donnie right behind them, trying to stay calm.
I need to know where you went, Donnie.
Look, I know we had a bad day yesterday, okay?
A bad day? Is that what you call that? Where are you going?
I'm going out to get the stuff that you were supposed to get yesterday.
But Donnie, I'm attempting to have a conversation.
Oh, and what a joy it is. Don't worry, honey. We'll talk about this later. It's all good.
Donnie straightens, turns towards Allison, and meets the wicked swinging art of a golf club head on. We go to black, and that's the end of our teaser. And there's a commercial.
Does anybody want a commercial?
I'm shooting that scene.
Where we put up our signs.
Yeah, this is a commercial.
Woo! Woo! Maybe it's sistering.
Good job, guys.
Donate.
Donate. Stay at home and stay healthy.
Wear a mask.
And now we're at the top of Act 1. We're in Allison's house in the foyer, picking it up, where Allison, golf club in hand, stands over Donnie's inert body. Still irrational, she pats his cheek, concerned.
Donnie.
Then she hears her kids, Oscar and Gemma, coming in from outside through the kitchen door. She rushes in and herds them out before they can see anything.
Oscar, walk your sister over to Ainsley's and you stay there, okay?
But, Mom.
Now.
Outside, we're in the Jaguar driving. Sarah's drived off. She's pissed off and edgy. She's amid Bluetooth cell with conversation with Casima.
You're right, Casima. Paul doesn't even know about clones.
And Casima's in the university library study hall with a bunch of books. She talks quietly, ignoring nearby students.
See, it's a double blind. The monitor is unaware of the purpose of the experiment. That way they can't skew the results.
I had to get out of there. I don't even know where I'm going.
Listen, I might have a monitor dilemma of my own, too.
What?
Casima's eyes go to Delphine. A few tables away, her hair cascading, just sitting down. She waves hello.
Yeah, I'm new here this semester. I didn't bring anyone with me, but someone wants to be friends.
Just avoid them, cause just stick to the science.
Oh, stick to the science. Like I'm like the geek monkey now.
Seriously, Paul's some kind of badass, a compromised private security contractor or something. If someone's trying to get close to you, just stay away, please.
The old do as I say, not as I do.
The cell beeps. Sarah checks the display.
Allison's calling through. Are we good?
Sure.
Cosima hangs up. She's not good. Time to digest as Allison is connected.
Hey,
I've lost my place. 1 second. I need you.
what's going on?
I have a situation.
Allison is clipping a hockey helmet to Donnie's unconscious head. She yanks him downstairs by his feet. His head helmet hits the top step, ka-thump, ka-thump, and he groans on his way down.
What kind of situation?
Just get over here.
She hangs up. Sarah looks at the phone. What the fuck is going on? In Beth's townhouse in the kitchen, we're on Paul. He's expressionless, calculating, and very still. He spreads jam on toast with a knife, thinking, bing! A chime on his laptop brings him back from darkness. On screen, a GPS tracker. It shows a moving dot over city maps. He leans forward, watching the screen.
Where are you off to, Sarah?
We're in Allison's basement in the craft room. We're in Donnie's blurry POV as Allison comes on into focus, patting a bruise on Donnie's left cheek with a dish towel.
Allison?
He realizes he's tied with sparkly craft ribbon to an IKEA chair. It's very important.
Why am I tied to the chair?
Shh.
She pulls up a chair knee to knee.
Tell me what was really in the box.
What?
Your special box. What was in it?
Are you out of your mind? Untie me.
No, Donnie, I have some questions that need answers.
She spins her craft carousel and picks up a pair of scissors.
Come on, Allison, this is insane.
Don't worry, honey. It's all good. Isn't that what you always tell me?
She grabs her glue gun and dangles it over his slightly exposed chest.
Just, where am I? Think about what you really want to get off your chest.
Or what? You're gonna stick sequins on me?
You moved the files.
Files? What files?
The files you keep on me. The ones from the box, Johnny. Your special box.
She squeezes the trigger and drips hot glue onto his chest.
Have you lost your mind?
Johnny, I know what you do.
What? What do I do?
You spy. You perform medical examinations on me in my sleep.
What?
You turn my whole life into an embarrassing lie, and you switch the files in your box for porno DVDs of big boob Lowies.
She swats him on each B. Off Donnie, he's got the fear. His wife has utterly lost it. In the university library study hall, Cosima's engrossed in a textbook, Endless Forms Most Beautiful, The New Science of Evo Devo. She peers over the book to see Delphine working nearby. She makes a decision and crosses to her.
Delphine.
Bonjour, Cosima.
Cosima.
Oh, Cosima.
You working hard or hardly working?
Nothing important.
I'm bored.
Well, there's this lecture today. Do you want to come with me?
She hands her a flyer, Biotech Graphics, text reading, Neolution Now, presented by Dr. Aldous Leakey.
Neolutionism?
Yes, you've heard of it.
It's kind of fringe, isn't it?
As a Darwinist, I think it would interest you. This is Dr. Leakey. He's an interesting speaker. I saw his TED Talk online.
Really?
So?
Sure. Why not?
Ooh. In Beth's townhouse in the bathroom, we're on Paul. He's cold as ice, putting on latex gloves. Always a bad sign. Medicine cabinet opens. Paul rifles through Beth's extensive pill collection. He takes a selection of bottles, closes the cabinet. In the kitchen, he lines up the pill bottles. He has a cell phone jammed between his ear and shoulder. He leaves a stern message.
Sarah, I can understand why you took off this morning, but we need to know that the ground beneath us is solid. So please, let's talk tonight.
He hangs up. He finishes grinding some pills into a fine powder using a stone mortar and pestle. Nearby, empty pill capsules are gathered in a neat pile on the counter. He uses a funnel to drop the powder into a half-empty bottle of scotch. He dissolves the powder. Unreadable, a blank cold slate. He puts the scotch back in the cupboard and closes it. In Allison's basement in the craft room, Donnie has dried glue all over his chest. He's still tied to the chair. Allison looms, holding the glue gun as a threat. Scared, Donnie tries to bounce away from her, tied up in the chair. It's futile.
Why do you do it, Donnie?
Allison, I don't examine you in your sleep.
Am I sick like the German?
What? German? Who's German?
A knock at the patio. They freeze.
Who's that?
Allison jams the dish towel in his mouth, cutting him off. He struggles as she slides a sleep mask over his eyes, places pink industrial earmuffs over his ears to deafen him. Just outside Allison's basement, Sarah's got her hood up, cupping her hands to the glass door, trying to see in when it opens on Allison, nerve-wracked.
Hey, what's the emergency?
You might want to sit for this.
I'll stand. I got one for you too, but you first.
Okay.
Allison opens the door to the craft room, revealing Donnie looking like a Guantanamo Bay prisoner. Sarah closes the door again.
Who the hell is that?
Donnie.
Who's Donnie?
My husband. He's my watcher, I think.
Jesus Christ, Allison, what have you done?
Before Allison can respond, ding dong, the doorbell goes upstairs. Muffled sound of people entering, someone going, yoo-hoo! And who the
hell is that?
Oh, Lord, I forgot.
Upstairs in Allison's foyer, Allison comes up to find Ainsley Norris. In her mid-30s, she's holding a baked cake. Just behind is her husband, Chad, early 30s, good-looking and annoying. He carries a bowl of brownies and hovers with their young son and daughter. Ainsley immediately can tell something isn't right.
You're not ready for the potluck.
Well,
You're not even dressed.
Any chance we can change venues?
Change venues? Allie, what's wrong?
Nothing. I think I'm coming down with something.
Well, it's too late now. Take a couple of your happy pills and let me help. Don't worry, we'll get this party started.
They both spot the golf club on the floor. Allison scoops it up. Ainsley tries to sidestep. Allison blocks her.
What's up, Hendrix?
And with that, Allison's own kids burst into the house with all their kids in tow. Chad passes Allison, and behind them, other neighbors pile in, greeting Allison as they pass. On Allison, she's helpless to stop her entire suburban world as it comes crashing into her home. That's the end of Act 1. Advertisements, commercial break.
This looks so vulgar right now. If someone was to just tune in right now, they'd be like, what the hell is going on?
I love what you're doing, man. It's really good.
Excellent prop work, dude. Excellent.
Great props.
I like Misty and Delphine.
Making it fun.
Making it fun.
Oh, and the Pepsi-Cola commercial is ending, and we are back in Act 2. In Allison's house, back at the top of the stairs, neighbors are continuing to pour in with food and drinks. Allison frantically ribbons off the stairs with an off-limit sign, and Tatiana actually curled the ends of the ribbon with her scissors.
My nail.
Allison comes out of the kitchen, concerned but discreet, a glass of wine in her hand.
Allie, nothing's ready.
I know. Cover for me.
She takes her wine and drinks. Charity Sims, late 30s, 40s, a yummy mummy, steps up.
What's all off limits?
The basement, it's a disaster. Donnie's starting renos this week.
Well, the kids are screaming for chips.
Allison ducks under her barrier, takes off with a wine glass.
I'll get some from the pantry, okay? Sausage rolls? Freezer?
She disappears downstairs. Ainsley and Charity share a look. In the basement, Sarah watches as a panicked Allison finishes charging into a makeshift outfit for the party.
A potluck?
Mid-conversation.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Well, you have to kick them out.
I can't back out of the monthly potluck. It's my turn. But I have no gift bags, no ice, and no bartender because my husband is tied to a chair.
Allison pops more pills, downs them with a glass of wine, and Sarah holds Allison still before she snaps.
Allison, take a deep breath.
I hate yoga.
You need to go back upstairs and play host like nothing's wrong, all right?
Fine. You interrogate Donnie.
Allison searches through a pile of folded laundry on the couch. She throws a shirt at Sarah, nearly the same as the one she's wearing.
Put it on. Be me.
You can't be serious.
You're the expert, Sarah. Get that lying bastard to confess.
Well, what if he's just your husband?
Sarah, help me fix this. I impersonated you for your daughter. Now it's your turn.
Allison picks up an armful of jumbo-sized Costco chips and heads upstairs. In Felix's loft, a big bear of a man, Teddy, rises from Fee's bed, revealing Felix in a playsuit lying on the other side. He's on the phone.
Help you handle Allison. How's anyone supposed to handle Allison? With a golf club? No, I can't bartend. I've got a hard day ahead of me.
Felix winks at his guest off that. But Sarah is awkwardly changing into Allison's shirt on the other end of the phone.
Please just tell me you're not with the morgue attendant again.
No, but I plan to be.
Teddy drops money on the bed, starts pulling on his pants.
Hang on, Teddy, is that all you can handle?
Teddy smiles and kisses him on the head. They like each other. Felix smacks his butt as he exits frame.
Right, here's my afternoon just opened up.
How soon can you be here?
Scarberia, the de facto heart of Stroder Bitch Nation.
Yeah, and dress suburban.
You've got to be joking.
I know. It sucks to be my sister. Don't forget the ice.
Yeah.
In the kitchen at Allison's, guests help themselves to their own booze and food as dirty glasses and dishes pile up. Allison removes a tray of burnt sausage rolls from the oven. She downs another glass of wine on the sly. She forces a big, brittle smile, turns back to the party with her tray of burnt sausage rolls, and immediately is intercepted by Charity and Mira Kapur.
The kids are looking for the gift bags.
And we're running out of glasses. Where are your disposable ones?
Under the sink? Or the top shelf, left side of the stove? I don't know.
So what's going on downstairs?
Sausage roll?
Oh, no, thank you. Downstairs.
Mira wants to know who your contractor is.
Oh, right. The renos. I'll get you his info.
Allison wobbles off with her tray of sausage rolls. Mira and Charity smell scandal.
She's already drunk. Oh my God. Priceless.
Where the hell is Donnie?
Guantanamo Donnie is still in the craft room. He's craning his neck, making muffled pleas as Sarah puts one last item to sell herself as Allison, a headband. She looks in the mirror, horrified, pretends to be Allison.
Hello, Donnie. Hello, Donnie.
Donnie flinches as she lifts his safety earmuffs off.
Hello, Donnie.
She removes his blindfold. He blinks wide-eyed. Sarah puts her finger to her lips, pulls out the gag.
Allison?
She raises a cup and gives him a glass of water. Classic prisoner interrogator mindfuckery.
Oh, can we stop now, please?
Yes, after a few questions.
On a lakefront pathway, runners pass, huffing and puffing with the cold. We find Paul with his collar up, intense, walking the path with Olivier, Something very vaguely lecherous about Olivier, a manner designed to unnerve. Paul treads carefully.
You told me yesterday she was fine.
Well, she's manic, Olivier. She's right back in her dark place. Stopped her from ODing on pills last night. She's quit the force, stopped going to her therapist. I mean, she has no one.
She has you to share this crisis like any other event. Just keep it congruent and only interfere when it's critical.
She's avoiding me, though, disappearing. I want to know that I won't be blamed if she tries it again and I can't stop her.
You've done well for us, Paul. As long as your subject makes her own choices, there are no wrong decisions. Yes? Then soldier on.
It sounds belittling and greasy coming from Olivier, but Paul just nods, inscrutable, walks back the way he came. Olivier watches him go, a small smile, something bothering him, but he loves games. Back in the craft room, Sarah as Allison is mid-interrogation of Donnie.
Allison.
Donnie, I know, so you can tell me how it all works.
How what works?
The double blind, Donnie. Monitoring.
Allison, listen to yourself. I got up in the middle of the night to watch cricket.
Cricket?
Yeah, cricket. The South African game started at 4 a.m. Is there nothing in my life left unexamined by you?
Sarah stumped. In the silence, Donnie hears people and music upstairs.
The potluck? The whole neighborhood is here? What kind of irrational nonsense is going on in that head of yours?
Sarah takes offense at that, her Allison impersonation stretching thin.
You watch your tone, Donnie.
Allison, for Christ's sakes, get your frazzled PMS shit together.
Your wife is the rock of this family. You will no longer talk down to her. Am I clear?
Wide-eyed and his mouth stuffed with a gag, Donnie nods. In the university lecture hall, Cosima enters. A decent-sized audience milling in, taking seats, mostly science-type students, but a few scattered neo-lutionist acolytes, the oddly androgynous with similar silver hair and a single-colored contact lens, clothes in a palette of gray. Delphine meets Cosima in the aisle.
Glad you came. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I can tell.
Dr. Ricky attracts diverse thinkers.
They take their seats as the lights dim on a high-tech presentation, projections, monitors, a multimedia barrage of organic processes, slime molds, cellular division, neural pathways. Technology intrudes on nature's egg enucleation, neural chips, cyborg limbs. Dr. Leakey begins.
Neolution, a philosophy of today for tomorrow, rooted in our past, in the evolution of human organism in our very own DNA.
A cellular organism pulses, engulfing a chimpanzee silhouette. Chip morphs to an ape, to a Neanderthal, to Dr. Leakey in his early 50s. Fit, academic with an edge. He wears a tiny headset for his high-tech TED Talk. The projection begins to morph him into a futuristic cyborg. This is when TED Talks were super high-tech. But he stops the imagery.
But before we go into the future, let me take you back 3,000 years to the great philosopher Plato in his twilight years. Poor old Plato was going blind, going lame, losing his hearing. Now imagine if he knew we could correct his sight, restore his hearing, and replace his ailing body parts with titanium ones. Plato might have thought that we were gods, but we're not. We're just fundamentally flawed human beings. Hello.
He scans the crowd and his eyes fall on Cosima.
Oh, hello.
Karen?
Your glasses, for example, make you somewhat platonic.
It's totally frozen.
Who's frozen?
But within the very near future, I will be able to offer you the ability to see into a spectrum no one has ever seen with the naked eye. Infrared, X-rays, ultraviolet. Are you interested?
Yes.
Maybe I'll start with basic LASIK.
You should. That's making an evolutionary choice.
So is simply evolving.
Yes. Subject to time and contingency. Neolution absolves us of all that, offers us the opportunity of self-directed evolution. I believe that's not just a choice, but a human right.
Seema is clearly intrigued by the concept of Dr. Leakey himself. He elbows her, grinning in the limelight. Cosima looks back to the lecture, but Delphine's gaze stays on her, studying her. In Allison's house, outside, a cab door opens. A pair of penny loafers hit the ground, attached to a pair of chinos. Reveal Felix in suburban flair, pink golf shirt, yellow sweater over his shoulders, hair parted respectably. He carries a bag of ice and a gift bag.
Oh, time to party with the party.
He pops his collar and heads around the back of Allison's. While back at his loft, the door rolls open. Vic drops a busted lock on the floor and sets his bolt cutters aside. He enters, snooping. He poaches a baguette, breaks off a piece with his pinkyless bandaged hand. His eyes land on Felix's laptop. He casually taps a key to kill the screensaver. On screen, a Google Maps-like web page. Vic sees an address written down on a pad of paper nearby. He grabs the pad and leans in to take a look at the map. While back in Allison's basement, Sarah opens the back door on Felix in his getup. She laughs out loud for the first time today.
Shit, I thought you were Allison. Laughing? Have you looked in the mirror? There's a thing on your head.
Well, shit, as they say, is completely sideways, Felix.
Christ. Okay, what do you need?
Upstairs, Allison is losing the plot. She knocks back another swig of wine. Charity comes over. She carries an empty cheese tray.
Crackers?
What?
Do you have more crackers?
How should I know, Charity? Why don't you check the cracker cupboard?
Charity gives her a curious look and moves off as Ainsley takes her arm.
Allison, Mira is talking. Where is Donnie?
Her eyes fill with guilty tears. Ainsley reads marital strife.
Oh my God. Why isn't he here helping you?
He's tied up.
Allie, don't you dare cover for him. Not again and not to me. You know what I'm going through with Chad. Incoming.
Hey, lady.
As Chad strolls over. Find Felix looking for Allison, all gay suburban charm as he cruises the party. He hears, "Hey, ladies," sees Allison threatening to get too friendly with Chad.
Chad.
Now, I am all over the sexy stretchies. You working those glutes again?
Excuse me?
No, what's your program?
Why is everyone asking me so many goddamn questions?
Hello, neighbors. Bartender's here.
Felix?
A word with our hostess, right? And then I'll be back up to top you up.
He corrals Allison away as Ainsley looks to Chad, who laughs.
Gay bartender. It's awesome.
Chad, shut your stupid mouth and feed the kids.
Back in the basement, Felix deposits a sloppy Allison on the couch. Sarah doesn't like the looks of her.
Oh, no.
I screwed up, didn't I? It's not him, and I cracked him one, and it felt so good.
Is he really in there?
Yeah, tied to a chair.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll handle the mess upstairs.
Felix leaves to go upstairs and leaves Sarah and Allison alone. Allison a puddle on the couch. Sarah's wondering, how the hell do you comfort your own clone?
I've tortured my husband, I've messed up my family, and you're the only one I can talk to, but you're just another version of me.
Come on.
I'm a horrible person. I'm not even a real person.
Of course you are. You stood up to all this so far. Allison, Donnie got up in the middle of the night to watch cricket. Yeah. Look, Paul's military. He's a professional. You and Donnie have been together since what? High school?
High school.
Yeah. How could he be your monitor?
So he's just Donnie? Eating, farting Donnie? My monitor is probably one of those bitches upstairs.
Allison.
Buries her head.
Allison?
She shakes her, but Allison's passed out cold. Unbelievable. While outside, up in Allison's street, Paul's car pulls up. Kids run past, revealing Paul inside. He watches them run into Allison's house. He puzzles the situation carefully. He takes his gun out by habit, side loads, safety on, puts it back in his pocket, and we end Act 2. Commercial break.
Commercial break. Also, Clone Club, know that this is a very difficult time for everybody, and that money is not necessarily available to all of us. So any donation is, any donation, however small, is very much appreciated. Love you guys.
Act 3, episode 106 of Orphan Black. We are back from commercial, and we're in Allison's house in the kitchen. At a makeshift bar, Felix pours a bottle of tequila into a punch bowl full of orange juice, knocks back a shot of something for himself. He turns around to find Sarah wearing a grimace.
A pint of Chablis, Allison?
It's me, Felix.
Oh, shit.
Code red, Allison went down in a heap. We have to pull her life out of the fire somehow.
Okay, well, I think I spotted her real monitor.
There you are.
Ainsley scoots up, cornering the two of them at the bar. Felix ogles. That's her. Sarah forces an Allison smile.
Here I am.
What is with you?
Chad comes up behind and gooses Sarah's butt.
Hendrix!
Oi!
Nobody finds that funny, Chad.
Hey, whoa, hey, I'm just bouncing quarters here.
Chad moves off, giving Sarah's bum an obvious look. Off Sarah, Ainsley eyes Felix.
I've seen you before. Do you work at the plaza?
Sorry, I don't do plazas.
How do you two know each other?
I'm Allison's acting coach. Yeah, Felix.
Ainsley from across the street. You never told me you were getting professional training, Allie.
Really?
Red or white?
I remember you. You were waiting outside in a car one night.
Oh, and you have a Great Dane with very bad breath.
Back at university in a reception hall, Cosima and Delphine drink red. They're mid-debate in their old world among the Leakey acolytes. In the corner is a display of Dr. Leakey's book.
Neolution isn't
What is it? Utopian?
Neotopian?
All eugenics movements can be seen as utopian within the context of their era, as bettering humanity, lifting us out of misery and poverty.
But Delphine's attention goes to Dr. Leakey, who's finishing signing a book.
There he is. I'd love to meet him.
She gives Cosima a confident grin and steps over to him. Cosima watches Delphine touch Dr. Leakey on the elbow to get his attention. He turns and smiles. They chat. She motions to Cosima to come over. Dr. Leakey.
Dr. Leakey.
Kevin!
Kev?
Oh, we can't hear you, Kevin.
I was muted. Here we go. Ah, hélas. C'est mon adversaire.
You speak French.
I have a neurolingual chip.
Bullshit.
Good, a skeptic. I do have a lingual chip, but it's still in my phone, not in my cerebral cortex. But neural implants are one of the things we're developing.
At the Diet Institute.
You've heard of us.
Are they from the Diet Institute?
She points to a couple of his acolytes. He gives her a patient smile.
My Freaky leakies, as they've been dubbed in the media. Once I was asked what my perfect human would look like. And offhand, I suggested silver gray hair and no eyebrows, but little did I know.
I enjoyed your lecture very much. I'm in immunology.
It's an important field. And you?
Evo, Devo. So whenever anyone talks about the future, I say show, don't tell.
I hope you'll give me a chance.
He hands them business cards.
Please look into our work at Dyad. Adieu.
He moves off to a new conversation. Delphine is awed by Casima's moxie.
You're such a brat.
Casima knows it. She impulsively grabs a bottle of wine from a nearby table.
Let's get out of here.
She's beguiled Delphine. She grabs her own bottle with a grin and they take off laughing. In Allison's basement, Allison's passed out, snoring beneath a blanket on the couch. As in the craft room, Guantanamo Donnie's eyes go large as Sarah takes off the blindfold. She pulls off the earmuff, pulls the gags out. He's a broken man. She offers him water. He gulps.
Donnie, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
Allison, I know what I did wrong.
Shh. Tell me later when the party's over.
No, please, untie me.
I can't, Donnie, not till the party's over.
But wait, I bought mulled wine. I can help.
Donnie, while you're down here, I want you to really think about us. What we have with our kids, with this house. You don't want to lose it.
No, Allison, I don't.
No?
But Sarah jams the gag back in his mouth, drops the blindfold over his eyes, and puts back on the earmuffs. Up on the street, Paul's vigil continues, watching the house calmly, with deadly intent. He makes a decision, pulls on black leather gloves, another sign, never good. Takes his gun out of his pocket, locks it in the glove box. Paul gets out and heads around the side of the house. In the living room, Oscar and Gemma race up to...
Felix!
Hi, Felix! Hi, upstairs. Where have you been?
Oh, can we play dress up again?
Oh, not right now, but I brought presents.
He produces loud, obnoxious cap guns.
Yeah, you can only use them in the house. Those are the...
No, thank you, Felix. Thank you.
They run off shooting people. Annoyed glares from parents and gunshots as Felix turns right into Vic the Dick. Felix's smile drops.
That is a good look for you, Felix.
Vic.
Where the hell's your sister?
Off of Felix. Uh-oh. Back in Casima's street near her home, Delphine and Casima are laughing and running with wine bottles in their hand. They slow to take a swig and get a breath.
Let's steal some bicycles and bomb downtown.
Enough crime for now. I have a class to TA.
She takes out a cigarette.
You smoke?
Just pot.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm from San Fran, so I am gonna get you so baked one day.
Okay, one day. It's nice to make a friend in the brave new world.
Delphine opens her eyes, arms, kisses her on both cheeks. They're face to face.
Euro style. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good. See you soon.
Casima watches her go, very curious. In Allison's basement, Sarah covers Allison's passed out face again. Her phone rings. Felix whispers is upstairs and he whispers into the phone. Vic has a threatening arm around him, leaning in, keeping him pinned, listening.
Sarah, I need you upstairs now.
What's wrong?
Vic is here.
Vic?
Come upstairs now, Sarah, or I start making friends.
Okay, fine. Not downstairs. Upstairs, bedroom, 2 minutes.
She gives Allison another quick look and hurries upstairs. On the back patio, Paul comes in through the back gate, peers around the crack in the shears of the door. He tries the patio door handle. It's open. He slips into the basement. He can't see Allison sleeping on the couch. Instead, he sees framed photos of her, Donnie, and the kids. He examines them, thinking. Then Allison moans. He turns around to see her on the couch, can only see a black hair and blanket. She rolls over just then to reveal her face. Paul steps back, surprised but not shocked. He looks closer. Fingers on her neck. He expertly checks her pulse, shakes her.
Beth?
Allison grunts. Calmly, Paul takes it in, talks it through to himself. He pulls her hair aside, smart. He's looking for the scar.
No scar, you're not Beth. Sarah, are you Sarah?
Allison.
Okay, Allison.
Suddenly, a huge crash from the craft room. There's silence again. In the basement, in the craft room, Paul slowly stands up and opens the door cautiously to see Guantanamo Donnie fallen over his chair, still bound, blind, feet scrabbling aimlessly. Like everything else today, Paul takes this in with icy calm. He steps forward, shutting the craft room door behind him. Into a commercial of that guy who sells gold in Toronto.
Oliver Jewelers.
I'm Oliver Jewelers, and I'm going to sell you gold.
That's the one.
Cash
Yeah.
man. I get your man for the gold. I'm the cash man.
Everybody, please donate.
Please donate.
We love you.
Enter link.
And we're back from Olivier. We're in Act 4, Allison's bedroom, in the hallway. Sarah steals herself outside the door, and then she steps in to find Vic sitting on the bed, smiling. He waves a hand over the frou-frou decor of the room.
Look at this shit. With a stroller and a latte, you could even fool me.
You have 5 seconds, Vic.
Or what? You're gonna call neighborhood watch?
Keep your voice down.
We have unfinished business. Come on, sit with Vic.
Meanwhile, in the craft room, dumb and blind Donnie cranes his neck, no idea what's happening as Paul susses him. Gets right down in his blind face. Donnie doesn't know he's there, and Paul doesn't tip him. He takes in the craft room instead. And that's when he sees Allison's laptop still open on the live nanny cam feed. Vic and Sarah are on screen, sitting on the bed. Paul steps over Donnie, goes to the laptop, and turns up the volume.
Fake own death to move on to a new scam. Wow. Who are you now, Sarah? It must be so confusing for you. Man. Is this the poor guy you're gonna play?
You have no idea.
Paul looks to Guantanamo Donnie, best guessing the scenario. It just gets better and better. But then he darkens as Vic gets fresh with Sarah. She pulls away.
All right, quickie for old time's sake.
You got your money, Vic, and then some.
Oh, 5 measly grand does not cover my finger or my pain and suffering. Look, whatever the score is, I want to cut. Or I'll blow your charade wide open.
Off that, Paul smiles. Now he gets it, and now he has a play. In the master bedroom, Vic looks over the room, pictures of Allison, Donnie, and the kids. Sarah just wants out.
Lonely hearts play, right? Rich widower, 2 kids, huh?
Yeah, let's move this along, Vic. What's it gonna take?
Oh my God, look at them. They could be our kids.
Come on.
Sarah groans, the door opens. Paul steps in. He closes it behind him. Sarah gawks. What the fuck is going on? His eyes drill into her, forcing her to play his hand.
You got the wrong room, pal.
You must be Vic.
Yeah, and you are?
This isn't any of your business.
Hey, am I talking to you?
Sarah clams up. She has no choice as Paul pins Vic.
What's she done this time?
Vic has to laugh.
Oh, Sarah.
Hey, yo, she works for me. You talk to me.
Yeah, all right.
And Vic casually pulls his gun, the one Paul knows he has. Paul puts up his hands, unarmed, of course.
Well, okay. Okay.
Okay, come here. Turn around.
Vic frisks him, thinks he's the baddest dude ever, finds no weapon.
What is it you want, Vic?
You see, Sarah and I have unfinished business, so I want a cut of this play. I'm the tax man.
Paul glares at Sarah, pretending he's pissed that she's given away their play. She has to continue to play along.
Can't you see we're right in the middle of it?
Yeah, you got a well on the line. I can appreciate that.
So can we go somewhere else before someone walks in, like out in the garage?
Vic smiles. He's emboldened. Cocks the gun.
After you two.
Off Paul's steely look, Sarah opens the door on Ainsley, who's just about to enter. She balks at Allison with two strange men in her room. Vic hides the gun behind Paul's back.
Oh, sorry. Allie, can we talk?
Yeah, talk in here. Excuse us.
Vic prods Paul out with the gun and ushers Ainsley in.
Allison, we got this.
Oh, no.
Listen.
Vic smiles goodbye at Allison, so-called. They close the door, leaving Sarah guarded with Ainsley, Allison's possible monitor.
Who was that?
Which one?
The impossibly handsome one, obviously.
Old friend from college.
Name?
Michael Mando.
That's Mando. The other one's a friend of his.
This is where you beat me up, huh, Paul?
Ainsley hangs on that, then suddenly switches to her own problems, very quickly and very emotionally.
Oh God, Ellie, I know you're sick of hearing about Chad.
Oh, no.
I think the asshole is having another affair.
Tears brim. She wants a hug. Off Sarah. Oh my God, what's next? Out in the garage, the door opens. Vic checks it, then motions Paul inside with the gun. He closes the door behind them, drags over a lawn chair for Paul.
Oh, I'm going to drag this out. This is my little moment of victory before you whip my ass. I'm going to drag this as at least 3 lines as long as I can. Hit.
I'll drag it out too. Let's stand. Let's stand.
Oh, come on, man. Sit down. Vic won't hurt you.
Vic is far too casual and far too close. In a blur, Paul kicks him in the balls. Vic doubles over right into Paul's raised knee. Vic's nose spews blood. Paul plucks the gun from his hand and cracks him to the floor with the butt. Tucks the gun in his back, all one fluid maul. BDP, taking control.
Oh, yeah, BDP.
In Allison's house now, in the master bedroom, Sarah is gawking at Ainsley, who's spilling her guts.
It's that scrag from spinning class. She must be 45. 45! After he swore he'd never do it again.
Wow.
Is anyone talking? Has he said anything to Donnie?
Not a word, but every marriage has its little secrets. We all have them.
Sorry, I know you and Donnie have been going through things too. College friend?
I should get back to the kitchen.
Your shirt.
What?
You've changed it since the party started.
Oh, one of the kids must have spilled something on it.
One of the kids?
I really should get back to the party.
You're acting very strange. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
It's a friendly warning, but Ainsley is suspicious. And we're now into Allison's garage, and Vic's on his knees, nose pouring blood, hands clasped behind his head, execution style, with Paul above him.
Please, man, what do you want, man?
Oh, I want you to tell me everything about her.
No, about Sarah?
Paul turns on the air compressor. It hums ominously. He starts assembling a nail gun, attaching the hoses.
About Sarah? What's that for?
What's her last name?
Manning, Sarah Manning.
Does she have a twin sister?
What? No, man, she's an orphan.
Do you know Beth or Allison?
Who? Hey, look, man. I didn't want to shake you down. I just love her, man. I do crazy things for her.
A knock at the door and Sarah opens it just as Paul raises the assembled nail gun to Vic's head. Vic cowers, begs.
Hey, put that away, Dylan.
Sarah can't believe what she's seeing. Vic down and out. Paul, a calm, collected badass in full control.
Close the door, Sarah Manning.
He knows who she is. Sarah does as she's told. And we end Act 4 and go to gold, gold, gold.
Commercial break.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. Make your donations.
Was it a commercial for like the iPhone 4 when this aired? Yeah, something like that. The Pat was still on BlackBerry.
Kevin, you still have a flip phone. You still have like a Motorola Razr or something.
It was a Motorola StarTech, and it was badass. Thank you very much.
StarTech? Your voice just cracked?
It did. Puberty's crazy. It'll happen. You'll find out.
I think it's happened. Check this bad boy out.
Wow.
We all did.
Yeah. Good job, kiddo.
Freeman, John, I have a question. Were we shooting for the year that we were in when we were shooting this episode? Was it like the year that we were actually in during the time? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
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 It was like the actual year.
Yeah.
Like exactly 7 years ago.
And that's when it
was when it aired. It was when it aired.
Not when it aired. I mean, when the episode happened 7 years ago in like regular time.
And yeah, we were always playing at Contempt, weren't we?
Yeah.
We never were specific, but kind of.
Such a fun episode. Yeah.
I was playing it in the 70s.
Oh.
Get that wrong?
I got off of you, Christian. That's what
All right.
I got from you.
No one wants to say anything.
Can I wipe this glue off? I don't think glue's in the episode anymore. Can I please?
You have a razor, buddy?
It's a good look. It's a
It
good
doesn't
look.
look like glue, Donnie.
It does not. No, it does not.
Make that
It was on my skin. It landed on my skin.
Stop it.
Oh my God.
Kid show.
It's a very long commercial break, but now we are in Act 5.
Okay.
We return in Act 5. We're back in Allison's garage as the compressor kicks in, making Vic whimper, Paul pressing the nail gun to his head. Sarah now knows she severely underestimated Paul. Those steely eyes bore into her.
Paul, he doesn't have anything to do with this.
It's true, man. Just listen to her.
Who's the woman on the couch inside?
Paul, he doesn't know.
Why is her husband tied to a chair?
I don't know about that. Could you tell him, Sarah? Could you call him off?
Be a
Paul
man.
jams the nail gun in the back of his head.
Be a man, Vic.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, you put me in a very precarious position, Sarah. I can't have any loose ends with this thing. This guy seems like a very
Paul,
loose end.
he doesn't know anything.
Please, man, I don't want to die.
I'll tell you, Paul, Beth, Allison, I'll tell you what's going on. Just let him go.
Paul adjusts his grip, pushing it to the edge.
I swear to God, I won't say a word.
Paul, please, I'll be honest with you.
Suddenly the door flies open. Allison's daughter, Gemma, bursts in, blasting her cap gun.
Bang, 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 pew, 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 pew.
Oh, you got me.
Paul
Die,
plays
mommy.
along, pretends
Die,
as if he's
mommy.
shot.
Gemma, out.
Sarah manages to get her out just as she sees Vic's bloody face. Gemma recoils, runs off. In that moment, Vic tries to make a move, but as he pushes off the chair, whump, Paul nails Vic's good hand to the chair. Vic screams as the compressor kicks in, drowning him out. Back in Allison's basement, the door opened. Legs appear, coming down the stairs. It's Ainsley, snooping. She spots groggy Allison coming to on the couch.
Quick siesta?
I don't feel so good.
Okay, let's get you up to bed.
Ainsley helps her to her feet. In the garage, the big door rolls up on pitiful Vic, now cradling two mangled hands. Paul makes sure no one's around.
Move.
Arrow.
You and I end here, Vic. Never come back.
And the garage door rolls back down behind Vic. Vic just can't help himself.
Sarah, wait.
Paul and Sarah turn to one another, just turning from the door, looking at one another as they hear.
Allison?
They spin around to find Ainsley in the garage now. She's shocked to see Allison, gestures at her hoarded couponing products.
I came to get bottled water. Did you fly down here?
What?
I literally just put you to bed.
I got up?
Allison sees the nail compressor, eyes Paul. Something's not right.
We still haven't met. I'm Ainsley from across the street. You're...
I'm just visiting.
Sarah sees Paul's hand move to Vic's gun tucked in the back of his pants. She takes his hand before he grabs it, plays the only card she knows Ainsley is sensitive to, marital secrets. She holds Paul's hand like a lover for her to see.
Like I said, every marriage has its little secrets. This one's between consenting adults. Adults. Okay?
Orphs.
Okay.
This one's between a couple of dorks. No one gets hurt.
You know what? You're right. This is none of my business.
Ainsley ducks out, understanding now, she thinks. Sarah faces Paul, very cautious. She has a healthy new respect for him. He keeps holding her hand very dangerously.
Time to go home.
In the master bedroom, Allison settles before Donnie, who lies up against the pillows. The day is over. All the guests have gone. It's nighttime and they're getting into bed. She puts a cup of tea in his hands.
Donnie, I want you to understand.
No. You're right. Allison, you are the rock of this family. I'm sorry. Of course you knew. It wasn't just porn in my special box. You remember Ginny Nussbaum?
From college? The mousy blonde in music? Vaguely, why?
Well, I don't know how to say this, but she and I had an affair once. Okay, twice. But you and I were broken up. We were broken up, and we traded letters for a few years after it ended. Dirty talk, mostly. And then she got lupus, and I never heard from her again.
She got lupus.
I don't know what happened to her. I was just holding on to something personal.
Allison's speechless. Normally she'd slap him senseless, but as he breaks down in sobs, she gently takes his hand. In Beth's townhouse, in the kitchen, late at night, Sarah and Paul at the kitchen island. The mortar and pestle is still sitting there. Heavy expectation hangs between them.
How about a drink?
Paul takes out the half bottle of scotch that he poisoned. He puts it on the counter with a glass, but doesn't open it.
Talk first.
Sarah looks at him long and hard. This is the moment.
Clones.
Clones.
Well, we don't use the C word, Allison's rule, but yeah, we're genetic identicals.
Triplets, genetic identicals.
We count 9 of us so far, yeah.
Paul slowly puts back the poison bottle and grabs a different one.
That's interesting. Well, thank you for being honest.
That's what you do, Paul. While you were watching Beth, you monitor human clones.
He brings the new bottle, bourbon, looks at her like she's got a lot to learn.
No. Why didn't you just say so in the first place?
At an upscale hotel room, Delphine slides a key card into the slot. She enters the dark room. There's someone in the bed.
Tiens, comment va-t-il?
Très bien, je crois.
The bedside light goes on. It's Dr. Leakey in bed, waiting for her.
Brava.
Delphine smiles at him, begins to undress. End of show.
Good job,
Tony.
Highly entertaining.
Um,
Will, that's a great script.
That was the best Zoom meeting
Great
I've ever
episode,
had.
John. Thanks for
Yes.
directing the hell out of it, and to the actors for being awesome in it. Can I tell one quick story?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're up shooting in North York, Newmarket, at the house where Donnie and Allison live, and we're there for 2 big days. And on day 1, Tatiana comes up to me. She's in Allison mode that day, and she comes up and she says, "Will, do you mind if I just flip these 2 lines here? But if it screws anything up, I don't have to do it. It just comes off the tongue a little easier. But if you don't want to, that's okay." I was like, yeah, it's cool. Next day, we're shooting Sarah's scenes, and Tat comes up to me, and she's like, "Hey, I'm flipping these 2 lines, okay?" I was like, "Okay, Sarah Manning." Oh my God, no. And I was like, "No, don't change anything." And it was amazing to watch because she was keeping the essence of that character in each day just to kind of keep herself grounded. But she didn't know that in between takes, she'd come up and she'd ask a question. She'd still be kind of in character. And I was like, this is awesome to see that.
That's why nobody wanted to give notes to Rachel. You do not want to give notes to Rachel. It's terrifying. It's even more terrifying than giving notes to Helena.
Helena was more.
Oh, yeah. Didn't have to do that.
The craft room, the scene with Donnie tied to the chair, the craft room, and that scene, the glue gun torture, was one of the very earliest ideas that Graham and I had for Allison back when it was a feature film, before it was even a television series. We had this hilarious glue gun craft room torture scene, and it's my favorite scene in the entire series.
Yeah, it began with the craft room, which John desperately wanted a craft room just like his sisters in suburban Calgary. And then the craft room became the torture room, of course.
I want one like your sister. Anyway.
Guys, I have to jump right now, but I look forward to seeing the rest of this. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks, Will.
Your new show, Will.
Stay safe, everyone.
Will, what's your new show?
It's called Absentia. It's on Amazon right now. Season 3 comes out in the summer.
Nice.
So,
nice, Will.
So cool.
Please watch. Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe.
Brilliant job again. Thanks for acting the hell out of it again.
Thanks,
it was
Will.
hilarious to see.
Thanks, Will.
Bye.
I will. Good to see you. Well, take care, brother.
Cheers.
Hey, Maria, is Kieran nearby?
Kieran is nearby. He's ready
Can
to
you guys put the mic a bit closer to you guys when you do it?
Yes.
Because we want to hear it.
Hey,
Guys, wait.
are we going to just plunge straight into the next?
I think.
Wait, can I pee?
Can we all pee?
Yeah, I really had to pee.
can all pee.
Okay, so whoever pees goes pee. The rest, you better keep talking and make it interesting.
And I have costume changes.
Yeah, okay. Eat.
Hang on.
Quick.
Kevin.
Yo, what's going on, dude?
man?
I'm all right. Good to see you, man.
I haven't seen you in so long, man.
I know. It's been since like 2016, 2017, something like that.
Are you in Toronto?
I'm in Toronto, yeah. Yeah.
You look great, brother.
Likewise, man. I'm just looking for a barber. I need your barber.
No, it looks good. I shaved my own head.
Yeah, I know. I can't do that. My head looks like a wrinkles dog when I shave it. It's all jacked up, so I have to just grow my hair.
I believe that.
Hey, Mackenzie.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
See you.
So nice to see you too. It's been forever.
So
Michael,
fun.
I heard you got an album, or you're putting out some music or something?
Yeah, I just put out a song called "The Wild One." You could hear it on like all the platforms, and I've got a couple other songs that I'm going to release in the next few weeks.
Is it on Spotify?
I got a song for you, Graham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it are you Michael Mando, or are you like Slash McGraw?
I'm Sleazy Vic the Dick. No, I'm just Michael Mando, man.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I can't wait to go listen.
I hope you like it. Let me know what you think.
I will.
Are you in LA, Michael?
No, I'm actually in Montreal. When I got back from New York to visit my father here, the whole COVID thing happened. And I got an Airbnb here in Montreal.
Nice.
But I like it, honestly, like I really miss Canada so much. I really, I'm so happy that I got stuck here because it made me realize like this is always going to be home.
Yeah.
Do you miss New Mexico, Mike?
I love New Mexico, man.
I do. That studio's the best studio I've ever shot.
Are you guys still shooting there?
No, we got canceled, bud. We got canceled.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Man, I love the desert and the Santa Fe drive. And have you ever done the drive from Albuquerque to Los Angeles?
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Did you pass by the Grand Canyon and everything?
No, I went up through Flagstaff. I went the northern route.
Oh yeah, when you saw the
you can go through Grand Canyon, but that was a big detour. I had like 2 days to get there, so I had to kind of motor fast.
You went up and did the stargazing in Flagstaff?
I did, yeah, at night. It was amazing, man. It's like the clearest, most beautiful sky you'll ever see.
I remember stopping on the highway there and being so like afraid and in awe about how many stars there were in the sky.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so clear. It's amazing. It's beautiful country.
Now, Dylan, are you in Toronto or?
San Diego. I'm just outside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you working on something there?
No, I just live here because I don't want to live in Los Angeles.
Dylan, what's your address?
Come stay with me. I have a yard, Christian. You can put a tent in my yard if you want.
Tell everybody your address. Come on, let's go party.
World, your
In case we get hacked, I don't want to say it, man. But
what about you, Jordan? Where are you, man?
I'm in LA.
Oh, nice.
I'm in the east side. I'm in East LA.
Okay. You like it there?
I didn't like it until I moved here. Like I really struggled to acclimate to LA, and then finally, like a year and a half ago, when I moved to the east side, I was like, "Oh, it feels kind of like the Junction in Toronto."
Okay.
Cool. Beautiful. Kieran, I think everyone is almost back now. So, who are we waiting for? Oh, Kevin.
I think we're waiting for Kevin. So let's reiterate that we are raising funds for
Central Lane,
which is an amazing charity that serves hundreds of LGBTQ community centers across the world. And you can donate there by texting. You can also donate on their link, their Orphan Black link. And then also giving to Whispering Toronto. It's an incredible charity that takes care of homeless people in Toronto. So we want to send them lots of love and lots of funds if you guys got them to give.
If you do.
Very appropriate name for our show.
Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
Is everybody ready? Where's Kevin?
Kevin's wardrobe changing, I think.
Kevin is there.
Hey, Detective Art Bell.
Partner?
Why are you doing the same stuff as me? I'm playing Detective Art Bell, right?
Yes.
Because you want to see it done better, or wait, what was it?
Nice.
Yeah, this is the test.
Hardcastle, right?
This is the audition. Should we start? Maria and Kieran?
Okay.
good.
Okay. Welcome to episode 107. We open in a ND space in a ship's hold. It's night. Somewhere unknown, water drips on rusting metal, echoes in a dark, confined space. Water drizzles on sleeping Helena's forehead. She stirs awake as if drowning in a nightmare. Tomas dips a sponge in a water basin, wipes Helena's brow.
Tomas.
Easy. Easy, my girl. Easy.
Off Helena's slowly focusing eyes, we cut to Beth's townhouse, the kitchen. Sarah holds Beth's cell to her ear, paces in front of Beth's laptop. It's on the counter, open to Cosima on Skype.
Olivier called Paul in hours ago and he's not picking up.
That's not out of the ordinary, is it?
Well, how should I know? There's nothing ordinary about this.
It's the new normal, Sarah. Paul's a monitor. He reports to Olivier, his handler. As long as Paul's on our side, we can finally start to get some answers.
If he's on our side. That's my point. For all I know, he's selling us out right now.
Interior Neil Lucian Olivier's office. Paul's in the hot seat, a fancy but uncomfortable chair. He's keeping his shit very tight, but he's unnerved. By creepy stuff in this creepy room, displays of rogue taxidermy animals, a cat with 8 legs, a batwing rat, a dog with a beak. Muted music can be heard thumping through the ceiling above. Paul's also being recorded. A camera's pointed at him, his image repeated on its small screen. Olivier settles back before him, crosses his legs fastidiously. This is his lair. 2 monitors reveal multiple security camera angles of the club. There's a fat file in Olivier's hands. We see its contents, but Paul doesn't. Meticulous records, Paul's reports, medical tests, photographs of Beth, the last 2 years of his and Beth's relationship, even photos of a teen and child Beth.
Let's go back 8 months.
Yeah, we already did, Olivier.
When you first stated she doesn't seem to be herself.
Yeah, she began abusing prescription drugs. Why are you taking this?
At the time that you felt this, was there a typical response to the stresses of police work? Did you view it any differently in hindsight?
No, her decline led directly to her civilian shooting. She only got worse from there.
This through your lens as a former soldier and private contractor. Your own experience with PTSD.
Oh, no. My own observations of PTSD, I never suffered it myself.
No? Wow. Quite the rock, aren't you, Paul?
If you told me what this was about, perhaps I could help you.
Perhaps you are helping me. Shall we continue?
Beth's townhouse kitchen. Sarah throws on her leather jacket, gets ready to go. Still on Skype with Cosima.
Don't do it, cause. Stay away from Delphine.
If we're going to get beyond our monitors, we have to engage.
Look where that got me.
Into bed with him?
Okay, then look where it got Allison. She smoked her husband with a golf club on a hunch that he was her monitor. And now she's away at a couple's retreat trying to repair her marriage.
Right. Well, obviously, I'll approach Delphine more logically.
No, you won't.
My situation is different than yours.
Right, because you're such a brilliant scientist.
Oh no, I went to the wrong episode. Almost said I'm on 106. Such a brilliant scientist. Because she doesn't know I know. I'm the one monitoring her.
Just stay away from her until I find out if Paul sold me down the river. Please.
Cosima's not happy, but the heated conversation seems over. She lights her joint and blows a big cloud of smoke.
Whatever. You got anything else we need to be paranoid about?
God, I hope not.
Tomas helps Helena sit up. He helps her with a cup to her lips.
Drink.
She gulps, so thirsty. Now we see the space. She's on a cot against a metal wall. Dirty rust, oily iron beams, low ceilings. A hanging bulb lights the barren room, bleak, lonely, ascetic.
Helena, why did you let the imposter live?
Helena stops drinking, reluctant to say.
She's different than the others.
But how could it be different?
I don't know. We have a connection.
But it's nothing. Like one of your fingernail clippings, like the rest of them.
She said I am not the original, that we are all the same.
Tomas smiles benign, then suddenly smacks the cup out of her hand. It's like a slap, but expected, normalized abuse.
How could you believe such a thing?
He brushes wet hair from her face.
Forgive me, Tomas.
And that is the end of the teaser.
Tease.
Feel very teased.
Yeah.
It's the opening, 107.
It's good to see Helena again.
Yeah.
Wait, Helena made a sign.
Oh, let's see Helena's sign. Please help.
Yes, please share your pictures of Helena if you have them.
Oh yeah, we got him.
Yeah.
You can tell Helena's coming because you start to like chew your cheek.
Someone has to do the score. Someone has to do the we should have had Trevor Ewell on this call.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Just to fill in some score here and there. Okay, here we go. Act 1. Exterior, Neo-Lucian night. Industrial wasteland, city in the background, very little here but darkened buildings and a scattering of parked cars, including the Jag, Sarah, and Felix inside.
Paul was supposed to meet Olivier at an underground club he owns, and there's Paul's car, so...
There was a club out here. Don't you think I'd know about it? Julie's shagging before he left. What? Just remind him who's boss, you know? Not trust Paul. Maybe you can use a magic fanny on him.
What a bloody mess. Even if he's not in there writing me out, the medical test could prove that I'm not Beth.
Well, Cosima said they wouldn't.
She's blinded by science.
Maybe. But from what I got online, she's right. You and Beth are clones. So you and Beth have identical DNA.
Interior police precinct boardroom night.
Identical.
Art and DeAngelis face Beckwith, perplexed. She has crime scene photographs and a report to back up her findings.
Yeah, the DNA samples from our Jane Doe in the gravel crusher and the killer in the bathroom, a match. Same person.
That doesn't make any sense.
Hardcastle leans up against the Jane Doe evidence wall, waits to see who to ream out.
Unless there's a screw up.
Someone messed up in the lab, contaminated or mislabeled the samples.
Not on my watch.
Then what, Janice?
He shows crime scene photos, Jane Doe's body parts.
I took Jane Doe DNA from a femur. Our suspect killer's DNA came from blood we found in the bathroom, so maybe the killer planted Jane Doe's blood there.
More games?
So she carries around a couple pints of Jane Doe's blood and splashes it around?
That's more likely than she walked into my lab and tampered with the samples.
Unless someone with access tampered.
Art doesn't appreciate her drift, neither does Hardcastle.
Are you trying to turn my ulcer into a heart attack?
DeAngelis shrugs, Beckwith shrugs, Art shakes his head.
Look, we're missing something, okay? From the very beginning on this thing.
Yeah, IDs. So if the high-tech's broken, do it the horse and carriage way. Go back to the beginning, comb the whole shit pile again.
Hardcastle nods Beckwith out the door. They leave bickering.
And where's the damn Jane Doe facial reconstruction?
It's coming.
Art and DeAngelis are left alone, Art eyeing her.
Someone with access? Beth wouldn't tamper with evidence.
Well, maybe not. Okay. But you had questions about her run-in with the killer, didn't you?
Art stands, faces the Jane Doe evidence board.
Square one, like the man says. Open minds. We'll see what we find.
Dismantles the board, pin by pin. Interior, Best Jag, night.
Felix, hang on.
Magic funny. All right.
Christ, Felix.
Cab pulls up and disgorges some edgy cyber fashionistas. They watch them step to a discreet door, ring a bell, and enter.
Oh, wow. Cyberbus. That's interesting.
All right, enough waiting around.
He goes to get out of the car, but Felix stops her.
No. You're not going in there with that recognizable mug. Besides, Clubland is my world.
Felix flips a makeup bag.
You bring that everywhere.
Felix. Interior Neo-Lucian front hallway. A vampy coat check boy in an alcove. Music thumps beyond an inner door. A buzzer sounds. A huge bouncer lets in Felix, who eyes adjust to the dim light, industrial designed entryway. He smiles at the bouncer, then realizes the coat boy bears an uncanny resemblance to himself.
Well, hello.
But snooty coat check boy shuts him down.
Neo-Lucian is a private club.
Well, I know, but you look so lonely.
Not even a little.
Astrid, a tall, formidably masculine but curvaceous woman, enters. Silver hair, one gray eye, exudes fetish and severe don't fuck with me. Felix can tell she's the real gatekeeper.
Oh, good. The brains. Can you tell this one that Snooty won't do?
He's new.
Guilty. But I've come all the way from Brixton to party at Neo-Lucian before I die. My friends told me to mention Olivier.
That seems to soften them up. Astrid smiles. Can't help but like him.
You're dying. Poor thing.
Inevitably, I'm afraid.
Then you're not familiar with Neo-Lucianism.
Oh, there's an ism.
My darling, Neo-Lucian is far more than just a club.
Astrid takes Felix's arm and the bouncer opens the door to the club. Loud music hits them. Interior Neo-Lucian, Maine. High-tech industrial, crazy light show, an energized crowd of cyberpunk, cybergoths, and rivet heads. Okay. Rivet heads. Watch projection screens showing biological processes, abstract surgical procedures. Felix is impressed as she leads him through to the bar.
Augmentation, self-directed evolution.
Felix clocks a couple of leaky, silver-haired, single contact lenses, a similar look to Astrid.
Well, I'm intrigued. Is everyone here a Neo-Lucianist?
In a cordoned off area, Felix sees a tattooed practitioner, latex gloves. She pulls a branding iron out of a misty stainless steel container, liquid nitrogen.
Not everyone. We've got techno-progressives, spotty mods, biohackers. Membership is really in the mind.
Oh, yeah.
The practitioner presses the Sub-Zero iron onto a clubber's wrist, freeze branding.
Your eye, is that a permanent augmentation?
It will be one day, but I have other enhancements.
Well, a philosophy so physical makes for a very handsome tribe. So what about Olivier? Is he enhanced?
Darling, you have no idea.
Yeah, no.
Oh, we do. We have an idea.
I want to have an idea.
Whose sick idea was this? Interior Neo-Lucian, Olivier's office. Club music thumps through the walls. Paul and Olivier are seated in the same chairs facing one another. Silence as Olivier scribbles notes. Paul looks tired, fed up.
I've been here for hours. I should get back to her.
When was the last time you and Beth were sexually intimate?
3 days ago.
Who initiated it?
She did.
How would you characterize it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand the question.
Would you describe the intercourse as intimate, aggressive, perfunctory, sensual?
No, I would say passionate.
That's generally cold fish. It's your words. So this was out of the ordinary.
On the whole, yeah. It's hard for me to help if I don't know what's going on.
All of this architecture, psychological profiling, physical exams, social metrics, you must know it doesn't exist for Beth alone.
I don't assume anything.
Of course you do. You're trained in surveillance, intelligence, security. But the problem with clandestine ops is that the information and security rarely go hand in hand, which is why I've been told rather late that someone is killing our subjects.
Interior, ship's hold night. Helena sits on the cot, a white bed sheet wrapped around her shoulders, her feet in a basin of warm water.
I'm hungry, Tomas.
No, not yet.
He picks up a towel.
Your task is more difficult since the real Beth child shot our friend Maggie Chen.
They're harder to find.
Helena pulls her feet out of the basin. Tomas dries them with the towel.
Maybe we can use the imposter.
I would like to see her again.
Tomas smiles.
It will say anything to justify itself.
Helena knows what to do. She kneels, drops the bed sheet, exposes her etched back.
I'll be strong.
Tomas brandishes a razor blade. He hands it to Helena.
The path to the shepherd is through the sheep.
Slowly, Helena slices a new feather into her angel wings. She grimaces, revels in the pain like it's sex.
Find the imposter. Bleed it for what it knows. And then
Interior, Neo-Lucian, Felix on the dance floor, dancing all mod like Sting and He scans the crowd, haughty, aware of being checked out. Then he spots Paul, who's coming up a roped-off stairwell from the basement, heads towards the door. Felix follows. Exterior Neo-Lucian, Paul exits. Felix steps out behind. Paul disappears around a corner. Felix follows. Paul steps back and slams him against the wall.
Why are you following me?
I'm not.
Twists Felix's arm, pushes him into the wall.
Fine. I thought you wanted a blowjob.
I recognize you. You were at Allison's, and you're English.
Suddenly, Sarah is there.
Paul, he's with me. He's my brother.
Jesus Christ, Sarah.
I'm sorry. I was worried. What happened to you?
I'm not here. Meet me at home. And don't bring him.
Exterior, Lake Freighter, dawn. Smoggy city in the distance, a rusted freighter dockside, a white van parked beside the ship's stairs. Inside the Lake Freighter, on the deck, a heavy steel door cracks open. Tomas holds Helena on the threshold. She squints into the daylight.
You are the original. You are the light.
I am the original.
I am the light.
He steps out, swallowed by sunlight, and Act 1.
Yay.
Commercial break.
Guys, I totally should have peed between episodes.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't.
Oh,
Next scene. Go now. Run now.
I will. I'm not in the next scene. Just go.
Go.
I have a jar.
I have a jar.
Keep going without me.
Hurry, Christian, pee, quick, Christian,
I'm gonna do it so you don't hear it.
The rest of in your cat.
Leave the door open.
What if we want to hear it, Christian?
Yeah. Let's read it really fast so that he stresses out.
Make sure you have a healthy stream.
Dylan, I like your background setup. Is that your audition setup at home?
Yeah, this is my garage. Yeah.
Magic happens.
Oh, that's where you
I'm
got.
not using my good camera. I'm using my tablet right now, so I can't adjust the lighting. But yeah, a lot of magic in the garage. That's right.
This is where it goes. That's where it happens.
Hey, Graham, do you know what this is that I'm wearing? It's the actual one.
Ah!
It's the coat. Where's the arm?
It has
Hold on. It's the real. Guys, did the arm disappear? No, it's right here.
Someone's so.
You're getting too buff, but you can't even.
I'm just so.
Jordan, do you have the original kimono too?
No, wouldn't that be great?
That would be amazing.
It would really.
I don't know who has that now, but they're enjoying it. Whoever it is.
That auction.
Bubba, the guy who played Teddy, he's got it.
So are we waiting for Christian?
So we can
Oh,
go
he's
on.
back.
Good. Let's do it.
Wow.
I highly recommend. I highly recommend peeing.
Do you feel better,
It's wonderful.
Christian?
I feel great, guys.
Okay,
I feel
good.
great.
You look
Okay,
like
so let's, so shall we continue with Act 2?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, excellent. Act 2, interior townhouse living room. Sarah digs for her keys in the container. She can't find them. She turns around, sees Paul holding them. Sarah holds her hand out. Fork him over.
I'm going to see my kid.
Trust is stretched thin. Sarah wants to leave without giving up anything, but Paul won't let her.
Those are Beth's keys. Let's go over what you know again. There's 9 of you.
No, there's just one of me. That just like there was one of Beth.
That's not what I meant.
Beth figured out, yes, that there were 9 so far, but I've only met Allison. Now give me the keys.
Who else knows besides your brother?
Just me and Allison.
Well, what about Allison's husband?
They've been together since high school. He's not her monitor.
We don't know that.
Paul, what's going on? Is Olivier onto us or what?
Olivier said someone's killing the subjects. You know anything about that?
Sarah considers telling him everything, but it passes.
No. Who?
He just said to watch Beth closely and make sure she's safe. Not aware.
Aware of what?
Of us, of me. This is high-level shit, Sarah. An illegal human cloning trial.
You think I don't know that?
She holds out her hand for the keys.
Aren't you the least bit worried someone's trying to kill you?
Yes, but at least it's not you. And I still need to see my kid.
Paul relents, but hands her a different set of keys.
Take my car. It's in the underground.
Why?
In case someone's tailing you, all right? It's my job to keep you safe. At least let me do that.
Sarah takes the keys, feels a pang of guilt. Interior parking garage, Beth's townhouse. The garage is empty, quiet. Sarah walks towards the Range Rover with Paul's paranoia ringing in her ears. Her footfalls echo. She remote unlocks it. She gets to the car, about to open the door. That feeling she's being watched, whips around, but there's no one there. Sarah turns back to the car. Helena is on the other side. She holds her palms up.
I'm not here to hurt you.
Shit.
I just want to talk.
Stay away from me, Helena.
Please, I have an offer for you. But we must talk and eat. Let's have lunch.
Lunch.
Yeah, let's have.
Yes.
So now we cut to a diner, greasy spoon, taxi driver hangout, great pie, in a booth. Sarah can't believe she's sitting across from Helena, Assassin Black. Watches her every move. Half-done dishes surround her. The girl is ravenous. Adds salt to a bowl of Jell-O. Weird. Heaps sugar into her coffee. Her manners are crude. Talks with her mouth full.
I dreamed that we were friends.
We're not friends.
We will be. I've been at.
Sarah palms a steak knife off the table, just in case.
Don't they feed you wherever you go?
You know my name. What is yours?
No, this friendship isn't there yet. What are you, Russian?
I grew up here in a convent in Ukraine.
Ukrainian nuns. Is that who made you kill Katya Obinger and the others?
No. They saved me from abandonment.
Pat wanted me to burp for Helena. I think we nailed it.
Just waiting for that.
Great.
That was
Really good
solid.
ADR.
Very solid. Very solid.
I want my knife back. The one you took from me. Excuse me for the burp.
Right. The flying fish blade. You got a thing for wings, don't you?
I'm supposed to kill you too. But you let me live.
Yeah, call it even. We'll go our separate ways.
We'll never be separate.
Suddenly, Helena slides down in her chair. Under the table, she shoves her foot hard against Sarah's stomach, forcing her back against the booth.
Tell me the names of the others, and I will spare you.
Sarah sticks the point of the steak knife into her thigh, about to use it.
Move your foot or I'll stab you again.
Helena eases back as if nothing happened, smiles again.
This is a nice restaurant, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 stars.
Sarah's sarcasm goes right over Helena's head. She wipes her face with a napkin, then writes a phone number on it. Stands.
You have until midnight to give me names, or you die first.
How stale is that bread?
I toasted it earlier today. It's very dry.
I'm not cutting yet. You have to keep eating.
Oh man.
It's like a rule when you're eating. Whenever you're eating, I just like to not say cut.
As I'm pouring sugar, you're just like, leave it, just a little longer.
Keep going.
Helena leaves, Sarah stays. That was unreal. Looks at the scribbled handwriting, erratic, childlike. Interior precinct boardroom. We are close on similar childlike drawings. Helena's artwork. The Jane Doe evidence board is being rebuilt. Gruesome image by gruesome image. The rest of the case is laid out before Art and DeAngelis, a headache on the table. Art flips through crime scene photos. DeAngelis walks in carrying an evidence box.
Best paperwork. It's like a mess, like she's never done it before. Jane Doe's fingerprints results aren't even filed.
I know. We ran them. No match.
Yeah. No, Beth checked the results, I remember. But even if there's no match, they should be here.
But Art's staring at a crime scene photo, a severed hand in the gravel crusher.
The man said double check everything. So let's get forensics to pull the hand and run fresh prints.
So we're hitting the morgue?
Yeah. I thought you'd like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Interior, Neolution, Olivier's office. Curled, scaly chicken claws, magnified. Olivier looks through a huge magnifying glass, listens to Wagner as he works with his hands, conjoins a chicken claw and a white rabbit. More rogue taxidermy. His cell buzzes. Olivier pushes the magnifier aside, answers without checking the caller ID.
Hello. You have a problem.
Olivier sits up, judging by his reaction, he's important.
What kind of problem?
I just received the results of Beth's recent medical exam.
Okay.
We reveal in a hotel room, Dr. Leakey is on the other end. Dark room, curtains drawn, he stares at a laptop, captivated by what he sees.
She's not Beth.
But all we get is the screen's reflection in glasses. Looks like punch cards or DNA sequencing gels.
Well, which one is she if she's not Beth?
That is not your concern. Just bring her in.
We go to Casima's apartment in the daytime. Casima.
She's back?
Casima's paused, half dressed to go out, phone to her ear.
Yeah, and she wants your names by midnight or I'm first on the hit list.
Holy shit, Sarah.
Don't worry, I won't give you up.
Maybe you should. Not to Helena, but to Olivier.
What? You're the one who said if your blind subjects became aware, you terminate.
Yeah, I'm rethinking that.
Casima searches through a messy stack of clothes on her bed, holds up dresses and skirts and blouses in the mirror, fancy date outfits.
Oh, great. She has a new hypothesis.
Well, whoever our creators are, they have a tremendous investment in us, in our conception, our whole lives. Don't you think they'd protect us from Helena?
Well, they know someone's whacking us.
They do.
Yeah, and Paul said it's just more of the same. Observe your lab rat, keep her stupid.
Casima sighs, puts her phone on speaker so she can finish dressing. She's choosing sexy, wants to look good.
Okay, Well, my end feels a little different than yours. You ever heard of this futurist, Dr. Aldous Leakey?
No.
He's a poster boy for a movement called Neolution.
Neolution. Olivier owns a club called Neolution.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, Felix says they're just a bunch of body mod and biohack freaks. Olivier's supposed to have a tail.
A tail? For real?
That's
Sarah,
what she's told.
Sarah gets Paul's Range Rover.
Well, tail or not, they have a philosophy. Delphine took me to one of Leakey's Neolution lectures.
What? You agreed to stay away from Delphine?
No, I didn't. You just told me to.
Because you're so enthralled, you're going to come right out to her.
Look, I'll walk the line just like she is. They've got to suspect that I'm aware, right? I mean, I changed my PhD to evolutionary development with a focus on cloning.
Okay, you're going to end up strapped to a gurney with doctors giving you the probe.
I probably already have been, haven't I? Can we get back to Helena?
Okay, you know what? Just keep me out of your end. I'll keep you out of mine, bitch.
Bitch?
At that moment, there's a knock at Casima's door. She's not ready,
Oh, shit.
but whatever. She answers the door half dressed.
Bonjour. Oh, I'm early.
No, I'm late. Sorry. I'm kind of always late, so I'm kind of always sorry. But just give me a...
Of course.
Casima ducks off to the bathroom. Delphine's smile drops as the door closes. She studies the apartment with interest. Interior, best townhouse. Freshly showered, Paul comes into the bedroom from the bathroom, pauses for the briefest of seconds, clocking something. He walks over to his dresser, pulls out a folded shirt, steps to the living room, whips out a gun from the shirt. Olivier sits on the couch, not the least bit unnerved by the weapon pointed his way.
Jesus, Olivier.
Where is she?
How did you get in here?
My key.
Paul sees Astrid standing over by the door, arms folded, oddly ominous female muscle.
We bought this place for you, remember? So it would appear not only attractive to Beth, but moderately successful. So, where's your subject?
She's visiting Christine.
You were supposed to keep a close eye on her.
It's a girls' lunch. I couldn't force the issue. But in case this person you won't identify is tailing her, I sent her in my car.
We bought your car as well.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
I have new information, Paul.
Olivier nods to Astrid. She exits. Olivier sets the photo face down.
Your subject isn't who we think. He's an imposter.
Well, I saw her a few hours ago.
It wasn't her.
Is this a test of some kind?
The person who is killing our subjects looks exactly like Beth.
Oh, you mean like a twin?
Yes, Paul. A twin.
And Act 2.
Oh, shit.
Very nice.
Yeah, commercial break.
You have to pee.
Commercial break.
Maria, are you in this episode, Maria?
Yes, I am.
Baby.
Oh, okay. When do we get to see you?
Pretty soon.
Okay, I can't wait.
I put my Mrs. S's plaid shirt on just to get ready.
Perfect. You have your rifle.
I'm afraid I don't have the rifle right with me.
No one's going to believe it. It's not authentic if you don't have the rifle.
Oh, God damn it. I'll get a Hurley.
Alrighty. Should I be concerned about this? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. So let's start Act 3.
Yeah.
Act 3, interior, best townhouse, patio, dark, quiet. A hooded figure appears at the patio door. They bend to the lock, picking it. Lock pops, door slides open. It's Helena. She pokes around, not looking for anything in particular, but curious about everything. Interior, Neolution, Olivier's office. Paul's back is in the uncomfortable chair. No sign of Astrid. Olivier sits across from Paul in a wingback, smokes, ponders. Again, Paul's being recorded. Olivier stubs out his cigarette.
You've been sharing your bed with her, where, you said earlier, she's suddenly proven a vixen.
Olivia, look, you tell me that my subject has been replaced by a double. You offer me no proof. You just expect me to believe you, and now you're suggesting I'm aware of it.
God, you're unflappable. I admire that.
Oh, interior, Mrs. S. Yay! Kira plays a simple tune on the piano for Sarah beside her on the bench, but Sarah is distant, worried. Kira finishes.
Mom. Oh, sorry, monkey. That was wonderful.
Felix comes in.
Well, at least you didn't get your tin ear.
I never learned to play the piano.
You were too bad, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. S comes down the stairs with a thick scrapbook.
Your mum just didn't work at it hard enough, love.
Right, move over. Let me teach you some Queen.
Uncle Felix wasn't bad.
He was a different kind of bad.
Sarah joins Mrs. S, her preoccupation still evident.
What's all that?
Mostly me, some of you.
Sarah opens the scrapbook. Photographs and news clippings, England in the late 70s through mid-80s, punks, labor strife, the Falklands War. Over a couple of whiskeys, Mrs. S flips through a weathered scrapbook for Sarah, a timeline beneath her narrative.
England was burning. Margaret Thatcher, the slag, firing all barrels in Ireland, the Falklands. She sacked Social Security, came after immigrants, the poor, unions.
They come to a black and white photo, a Brixton row house. It's racially mixed denizens gathered on the steps.
What do you remember about the house in Brixton, about my people then?
Not much. There was always women around. Kids would come and go. Wards of the state.
They weren't all wards. We were a safe house, really. Some of us worked in social services, you know. We helped women and kids, refugees, deportees, radicals on the run.
More photos, refugees and children. Mrs. S lingers over one, a young, proud black radical.
This boy, Carlton.
Carlton. Yeah, I remember him.
He was a fine boy, fine man. Sometimes his pipeline would bring a child in the black, a child to hide. And you were one of those.
Photo of Sarah at age 6, a better snipe.
Why did you have to hide me?
We didn't ask what we didn't need to know. But I knew the channels to legitimize a child, so I became your guardian.
A photo of Sarah with wee Felix and Mrs. S.
The last I heard from Carlton, he was about to be arrested. And so he he begged me to move you away, to hide you deeper. So I left everyone I knew, and I brought you and Felix here.
Sarah suddenly feels the gravity of Mrs. S's sacrifice, starts to say something, but she has no words.
I'll get Kira ready for bed.
Mrs. S leaves her with the scrapbook and bottle. Interior, Beth's townhouse. Helena looks at photos on the fridge. She opens the fridge, digs inside, finds a container of Tupperware. Inside, last night's chicken. At the morgue, gloved hands pull open a stainless steel door. Dig out a Tupperware container. Inside, a severed hand. Curled fingers. Colin displays the chilled Jane Doe body parts for Art, DeAngelis, and Beckwith.
You guys know you already took prints, right?
Yep.
We're looking at the whole chain again.
Angle on, Beckwith uncurls the fingers with finger screw. DeAngelis is fascinated.
Look, check that shit out. Finger screw.
You're in the wrong department, Angie.
You want her?
DeAngelis grins. Beckwith dabs a dead finger in ink, rolls it on paper. DeAngelis cocks her chin at Colin.
Hey, you ever seen a like a post-mortem spasm?
Creepy. You're creepy. Beth's townhouse. Helena pokes through the closet, smells his or pokes through dresser drawers. She sniffs both pillows on the bed, catches Sarah's scent, lies down on her side. Interior wine bar, mezzanine. Cosima and Delphine dine on wine, enjoying each other's company.
I should have ended the relationship before I left Paris.
Cold turkey, right? That's the only way to go.
Cold turkey. What is this?
Oh, it means abruptly.
Yes. Yeah, he was going to follow next month, but I changed my mind.
Oh, so you're the asshole.
Yes. I am the cold turkey asshole.
Something catches Cosima's eye. No way. Dr. Leakey below them gathers his coat from the coat check. She looks to Delphine curiously, then motions to Leakey. Delphine looks, her face lights up.
It's Dr. Leakey. Should we invite him?
It's
You're
like
single now.
Oh, no, he's too old.
But his mind is sexy.
Oui, c'est vrai. Okay, I'll get him.
She gets up from the table with a grin. Cosima's POV. Out of earshot, Delphine nervously slips up behind Leakey, looks up and smiles at Cosima. She taps him on the shoulder. If they're acting, they're very good. Leakey can't quite place her. She's mildly starstruck and cute. Points up to Cosima. Now he remembers, waves, and graciously accepts the invitation. Off Cosima. Okay, what's next? Inside Olivier's office at the Neo-Lucian nightclub, Olivier studies Paul. Now this is a test of his loyalty.
I don't know what to say, Olivier. To me, she's still Beth.
Regardless of what you think, I need you to bring her to me.
So did this imposter kill Beth?
Yes. And she's killed other subjects.
Beth's dead. Why?
I can't tell you that.
Who is she?
All I can tell you is she comes from Europe.
Yeah, where in Europe?
Does it matter?
Yeah, it's a big place.
Olivier pulls out a file.
Loyalty is proven in the moment, after all, and loyalty has its rewards.
He opens the file for Paul to see. Paul's military records. A picture of Paul heavily armed in civilian clothing. Classified photos of carnage, dead U.S. military personnel. A blurry photo of Paul beaten and bound, forced in front of the lens.
Help me make this right. Afghanistan goes away. You're free of your debt to us. You get your life back, Paul.
Paul's taken aback. He can almost taste the golden carrot.
Yeah, I have my phone back.
Back to the wine bar. Cosima sits across from Delphine and Dr. Leakey. They huddle around an important bottle of red. Dr. Leakey is charming, gracious, likable.
Yeah, I'm still working it out with my advisors, but my dissertation is about epigenetic influence on clone cells.
Oh, fascinating field. Are either of you familiar with our work at the Dyad Institute?
Your immunology papers, yes.
Then you'll be interested in this too, Delphine. We've created a pluripotent stem cell line from human baby teeth.
Cosima sips her wine, needs it, walking close to the edge, reading reactions, but they're so good at playing their cards.
You've perfected a number of proprietary cloning techniques in bacteria, insects, amphibians, human skin grafts.
Yep, that's correct.
And you're also patenting, who can read?
You need more wine?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And you're also patenting transgenic embryonic stem cells, right?
You're a science?
I'm a scientist. Don't question it. I have glasses on.
Okay, you've got glasses. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need. That's great.
Dreadlocks.
Yeah, I mean, we hope to patent transgenic embryonic stem cells. See how that rolled off the tongue? But once we get the necessary approval, that's not public knowledge.
No, but I did some digging and then I guessed.
Cosima, she's very cheeky. That's why I like her.
You know, I'm always looking for undiscovered wines and brilliant minds. What do you think? What do you think? Both of you.
Creepy.
What? It's not creepy. What do you guys think of, both of you, of applying to the Institute? We have a number of grants and programs to fund outside studies.
You're propositioning us.
Well, who knows? You could be the next Watson and Crick.
I'm just a geek girl from Berkeley.
Well, I can tell you have a very unique perspective, Cosima. One day, you could be on the cover of Scientific American.
Scientific American doesn't put scientists on the cover.
Well, every rule needs to be broken. More wine?
Not creepy at all.
Back to Olivier's office at Neolution. Astrid has been called in. She hands Paul his phone back, stands behind him ominously.
Put it on speaker.
Paul dials, puts his phone between himself and Olivier, and we intercut the next scene. Sarah and Felix get ready to leave. Mrs. S presses the scrapbook into Sarah's hand.
If you have to go back to go forward, I understand. But let me know. It might still be dangerous.
Sarah gives Mrs. S a sudden hug. Neither of them expected that, but Mrs. S welcomes.
I will keep Kira safe, just like I kept you.
One more story, Mummy.
Oh, you already had your story, and now it's time for bed. Okay, monkey swing to Felix.
Right, come on. I'm going to squeeze you to sleep.
Sarah steps aside and answers her phone.
Hello?
Hi, Beth.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I just need you to do something for me.
Okay.
On Paul, eyes locked with Olivier over the phone. He hangs on the verge of selling her out.
They know you're not Beth. Run.
Olivier darkens with a smile. He knew it too. In a flash, he lunges at Paul with a syringe. Paul reacts, deflects Olivier, but Astrid comes at him from behind, stabs a syringe into Paul's neck. Together, Astrid and Olivier struggle to subdue growling Paul. Makes effect and does it for them. His fingers lose their grip. Paul goes slack. On Sarah, the phone goes dead. Jesus Christ. And Act 3.
Woo. Sistering.
Sistering.
Sistering and centerling.
Sistering and centerling. We love you, Clone Grove.
We make the family, yes.
Brilliant.
Clone Club donates.
We don't speak, we sing.
Look at Helena.
Is that when Helena recorded Like a Prayer and shot her own music video?
Just like
All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right. Act 4. Here we go. We're inside Paul's Range Rover. Felix and Sarah are in the Range Rover, and we're back outside Club Neolution.
All right, so Big Dick Paul just proved he's down with you for real, but he also said to run.
I can't just leave him be. It's probably my fault he's in there.
So you're going to go to take Cosima's bad advice and fess up to Olivier?
I have an even worse idea.
No.
It's probably the worst idea I've ever had.
Sarah pulls out a napkin, and there's a phone number scrawled on it. We cut to Beth's townhouse. Helena sits at the table, holds a fork, an empty place sitting before her. Across from her, another empty setting. In behind the setting, a photo frame of smiling Paul. Helena pretends to eat, talks like Sarah, plays house.
How was your day, Paul? Yes, I also had a pleasant day. I went working and shopping.
Her cell interrupts the fine dining.
Pardon me, it's work. It's almost midnight. Do you have names for me?
I do. Olivier.
That's not the name of a sheep.
A sheep?
Bah!
He's more important than a sheep, Helena. He's a shepherd.
Helena is suddenly interested. Exterior, Neolution, back door. Sarah and Felix wait inconspicuously by the back door.
I saw Paul come up from the basement, so Olivier's office must be down there.
Then a pair of clubbers, drunk in love and in booze, stumble out of the door. Sarah sweeps over, catches the door before it closes. She turns to Felix, dead serious.
Fee, if I'm not back in 15 minutes, call Al, tell him everything. And make sure Kira's safe, yeah?
She hands Felix a business card, Detective Art Bell. Felix is freaked, tries to diffuse the weight of the moment.
Sarah, just don't die, right? Your first funeral was just agonizing enough.
Interior Neolution basement hallway. Sarah creeps down the dimly lit hallway, spies a security camera. Sarah flips up her hood, checks doors as she goes. Empty, locked storage. Sarah rounds a corner, makes her way to a service hallway into a dilapidated tunnel, creeps forward around another corner. Astrid comes up from behind.
Unmute.
What are you doing here? This is off limits.
Sarah slips her hood down.
I'm here to see Olivier.
And you are?
Inside Neolution Olivier's office, smack! Paul is slapped hard by Olivier, who finds it all so unnecessary.
You know how bad this can get.
I'm not working for anyone.
Then why protect her? I've told you she's a killer. Was she that good?
A knock at the door, irritating Olivier.
What is it?
I have a Beth to see you.
Paul sinks. Olivier reacts in surprise. He opens the door on Sarah. Astrid stands behind, controlling her. Sarah keeps to her native tongue.
You must be Olivier.
This is unexpected.
Astrid hands over Helena's wing-fished blade.
She was carrying this.
It means something to him. He eyes Sarah over the blade. Paul, deeply disappointed, locks eyes with her.
I told you to run.
I don't do run.
Her eyes tell him, stay with me.
Leave us.
Paul's Range Rover. Felix fidgets in the driver's seat. He checks the time, every passing minute a death knell. A very harmless-looking clubber walks by the car, but Felix is spooked by everything and everyone. He evil eyes the benign clubber, locks the doors. Inside Olivier's office, Olivier talks quietly on his cell, never taking his eyes off Sarah. She's afraid, like she's gone too deep down the rabbit hole.
Call me back as soon as you can.
He hangs up.
Oh, these years. Never seen one of you in the flesh. You're even more beautiful in person.
He thinks you're the killer.
Me? You've got that all wrong.
I have medical evidence that proves you're not Beth.
How can you tell that if we're genetically identical?
I'm not a scientist.
Well, you still got the wrong girl. The one killing us is Ukrainian. She's blonde. She's a religious nut.
You've created a whole new brand of fratricide.
You're not listening. It's not me.
Who is it?
What do you people want?
The future.
Self-directed evolution? You want to grow a tail? That's your business.
You know about my modest enhancements?
You've got a tail?
The fact that I can have a tail millions of years after we shed it reminds me of what we can achieve. Would you like to see it?
God, no. I thought I was the freak.
Olivier begins unbuckling his belt.
Argentinian biohack, blood flow, nerve endings, warm to the touch. But it's merely performance art compared to you.
His cell buzzes, checks the ID, disappointed.
Perhaps later.
He buckles up, steps away.
This is Olivier.
Dr. Leakey drops an antacid pill in a glass of water. Too much wine, the price of doing business.
What's so urgent?
Have her. The killer.
Get her ready to travel. I'll be there in the morning. And you be careful with her.
Olivier hangs up, looks over to his captives. Astrid forces the black hood over Sarah's head, binds her wrists with zip ties. Rendition. Paul looks over Olivier's shoulder to the monitor, sees Astrid leads Sarah through a dilapidated underground tunnel.
Look familiar?
He dangles the fish knife in Paul's face.
Means nothing to me.
If you're not working for them, then why risk your life?
But Paul's attention is glued to the monitor. Astrid takes Sarah into a loading bay, sits Sarah down on a cable reel. Olivier looks back to the monitor, to Sarah. Now he understands.
Oh, she's irresistible, isn't she?
Paul says nothing.
She's why you're doing this.
As Paul eyes the monitor, a third figure enters the frame, hood up, behind Astrid, raises a metal bar, hits Astrid in the back of the head. She never saw it coming. Olivier walks in front of Paul, blocks his view.
If I were your in position, I would fall in love with her too.
Sarah, Neo-Lucian loading bay. Sarah, still hooded, panic breath, ears tuned, knows that something's happening. A hand reaches for her. Helena. Sarah flinches as she touches her gently. The fabric sucks in and out over Sarah's mouth.
Hello, Fred.
About time.
Do you want to be safe?
Yes, Helena, untie me.
Give me a name.
I gave you Olivier.
Helena touches her face over the hood, slides her hands down her throat.
I want the name of a sheep, too.
Helena.
Squeezes her throat. Olivier's office. Olivier glares at Paul as he examines Helena's knife.
I offered you a way out, and you made a fool of me. You made a fatal error, Paul. You trusted the wrong person.
Olivier steps aside and Paul looks at the monitor and reacts. Olivier clocks his reaction, whips around to the monitors. Astrid lies on the floor, hooded Sarah slumped in the chair. In the Neo-Lucian loading bay, Olivier opens the door on Astrid, face down on the floor, advances on Sarah, who is slumped in the chair, lifeless. Fish knife in hand, Olivier slowly lifts the hood on the red-eyed rim eyes of the blonde killer clone. He's baffled.
Who are you?
I want to see your tail.
Olivier notices plastic tie cuffs on the ground, cut off. In a flash, Helena seizes Olivier's arm, twists it fiercely. He cries out in pain. Helena snatches the knife. So now we're in the underground tunnels. As Sarah runs down the tunnel, not sure where she's going, Helena has terrified Olivier, pressed face first against the wall, knife to his throat.
Slowly, that's good. That's good.
Olivier is dropping his pants, and we see his surgically implanted tail. Thick, real skin, hairless, it quivers. Helena examines it closer, curious but disgusted. She taps it with her blade.
Did you lie with the beast?
She touches it with an exploratory finger, then squeezes, the knife ready in her other hand.
Please, you're a miracle. Let me help you.
I have a message for your master from Tomas.
Paul watches on the monitors and cringes when he sees Helena slice off a tail, a distant scream. Sarah opens the door. Paul looks at her. For a guy who's rarely surprised, his expression is pure shock.
I guess there's a few things I should have told you about.
Felix and Paul's Range Rover Felix in Paul's Range Rover thumbs Art's card, checks the clock. Time's up.
Sarah.
He dials Art. At the precinct, Art's cell vibrates, and there's no one here to answer it. Art hustles back in, chews on a burger, answers.
Detective Art Belt.
Hi, detective. You don't know me, but I need to talk to you about Beth Childs.
Bang, bang, bang. Sarah knocks on the window. Paul's with her.
Open the bloody door.
This.
Beth. What about her?
Sorry, wrong number.
He hangs up, unlocks the door. Sarah and Paul pile in. Back on the Neo-Lucian dance floor, music thumps, dancers thrash. The floor is packed wild animal. Through the seething bodies, we catch glimpses of a shock of white hair. Helena sways to the music. Her eyes closed, one arm aloft, scar wings spread like a bird of prey, lost in her own mad, holy dance. In her other hand, she holds something. Throws it to the floor and walks off through the crowd. On the floor, we see Olivier's bloody severed tail. And Act 4. That was somebody's invented idea, hey?
Yeah, what was that scoop? What's the scoop with the tail there, John?
I don't know that the tail was my idea. I don't know if I can.
Own it, John.
I take ownership of that.
It was Graham's idea.
I always thought Graham was crazy.
Big Star was a lot of trouble to get it passed.
It was.
Really?
It was a really early idea.
Was it because it was so phallic?
Yeah.
It was so phallic and gross.
The most phallic.
And Tatiana, you landed it every time as you threw it over your shoulder for the last shot of the episode.
Yeah.
That?
Thrown tail before.
Guys, John and Graham, I got a question for you guys.
Tail thrower.
How long in advance did you guys know what was going to? How many seasons did you guys have when we started shooting?
About 3 episodes?
Yeah, about 3 episodes.
Really? You guys were writing as we were kind of didn't have like an ending pre-thought before we started shooting?
I think we had an idea of our season ending for sure.
I think we definitely knew that. I think that we didn't really, it wasn't until we sort of figured out that we weren't going to get canceled after season 1 that we actually came up. We went, actually, maybe we should make a plan here.
Wow.
I remember reading the Bible and you had 3 seasons laid out and we used all of that in like the first 7 episodes.
Yeah.
That was typically the case.
Yeah.
We burned through a lot of story very quickly. Speaking of burning through story, do you guys want to do you want to put more signs up or do you want to go on?
Do it. Let's keep going.
Black 5.
This is the climactic finale. of episode 107. Here we go. Interior, Felix's loft, night. Sarah sits beside Paul on Felix's bed. Felix drops 2 glasses of scotch on the stage. Oh, right, we're on the stage. There's a weird stage in Felix's loft, I forgot. So he hands him glasses of scotch.
You had to give her a name?
Yeah, mine. I told her who I was.
Sarah.
Well, she has a thing for me.
Paul takes her hand and holds it. There's too much passing between them for Felix, who tosses back his own drink.
All right, well, 3's a crowd, so I'll be getting drunk by myself at Bobby's bar.
Sarah and Paul barely register him leaving.
We can't go back to the townhouse. It's not safe. They'll be looking for us. We should...
Sarah places a finger over his lips. She kisses him. Tender, genuine. Finally, their guards are down. More line. Sarah eases him back on the bed.
Oh.
I don't remember that.
Wow.
Couched it. I think we did a couch.
Couch.
Oh, it was couch. Okay. Casima's apartment. Casima leans against the counter, a glass of wine in one hand, Dr. Leakey's business card in the other. Delphine fills up her wine glass.
Working with Dr. Leakey could be the opportunity of a lifetime.
I know.
Then why are you being so coy?
Cosima steps over to her close.
Isn't it time that we admitted what this is really about?
Delphine holds her breath. The moment of recognition is here, but then Cosima kisses her. For a moment, it lingers. Delphine pulls back in shock, a hand to her mouth.
Oh, no, Delphine, I'm really sorry. Did I just make a huge mistake?
No, I have to go.
Delphine.
But Delphine gathers her things and leaves in the quick. Cosima downs her wine. She pushed it too far, too fast. Police precinct, squad room. It's a ghost town at this time of night. There's 2 desk lights on, Art and DeAngelis. Art's on his way out, grabs his coat.
I'm going home. You should too.
Oh yeah, and miss all the fun.
DeAngelis opens a new email in her inbox. Results from Central. PDF report shows 2 sets of fingerprints.
Art, you got to see this, man.
Art amps over, yawns, not expecting much. He looks at DeAngelis' screen, just like that, reacts like he just saw a ghost. Staring back at them, Sarah Manning's mugshot.
It's a match on the Jane Doe print. Who's Sarah Manning?
And why the hell does she look like Beth?
Ooh, that is the end of the show.
Because she's a clone. She's a clone, guys.
I never found that out.
This is about clones?
DeAngelis never found out that she's
No, and I play my whole thing in just what I know. So I actually didn't know that was what happened.
the show. Inga, you got to watch the show. It's really good.
Choice. It was an acting choice.
Oh.
I found Mrs. S's bracelet today when I was looking for things to show. This is her, like I got this in the very first season, and I think it's the only thing I wore it every time, every episode.
No way.
Yeah, yay.
Thanks everybody for doing this.
Thanks for organizing it, Pat.
Clone Club, thank you for all your donations and for watching and for supporting us all. Like John was saying, like you gave us our seasons. We were able to do more than one season because of you guys. So we really love you guys and we're thinking of you a lot. Anybody want to say stuff to Clone Club?
Thanks, Clone Club. Keep sticking together. Keep sticking together, and it's great to be touching base with all of you again.
And thanks for keeping the message of the show alive, always, and like more now than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the Clone Club is still alive and kicking, man. Like, you know, I think we all get messages on our social media feeds that people are still coming to the show, still discovering it, and still loving it. And it's touching new generations of people each and every time that they go through it. So we really appreciate you guys keeping the spirit alive. And truly, we all really do love you guys. So
yeah, like getting wished happy birthday by like all over the world from people.
Yeah, it means a lot. It really actually means a lot to us, and it's so special. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
It was really lovely to see all of you people on the screen today as well. It's great. We had a special time on the show, didn't we? We made. Well, I moved countries, obviously, and that was really big for me. But just for all of us, we had a special time together, and we loved going to Comic-Con and all those things. Like we hung out. We made friends. It was great.
Yeah, I miss it.
You also had some fantastic kitchen parties too. Those were great.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. We'd still be doing that, but they're in Dublin now, right? But yeah, we'll get back over to you soon. Yeah.
And Evelyn, so good to see you again, and to have you all the time coming into our seasons. It was always hard to work out schedule, and you stuck with the story, and I was always super thankful of that.
I'm super thankful I was a part of this show. Oh my God, guys. I'm so emo, I don't have words.
I don't want to leave this call. I never thought we'd get a chance to play these characters again. Or even do those scripts. We never get to do scripts again. So what a joy.
Yeah, it really
I
reminds
still
me.
didn't think you'd ever get a chance to play any character again.
It really reminds me though of us in the thick of it, like sitting around the big table, you know, on a lunch break. You know, we're halfway through shooting our day, and it's a read-through day, and
It's 4 in the morning, and we're halfway through.
really, I mean, it's those memories of being with you guys on set and working in the story room and just working like just the intensely close bonds that we all created over the 5 seasons of creating the show. And I just think you guys are the most awesome family ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you too, man.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Tony Elliott for writing that episode.
Hey,
Yeah.
absolutely. Tony Elliott. We forgot to mention Tony off the top. Big shout out to the rest of the season 1 writers room too.
When are we reading scripts from season 2, Tat?
Tomorrow, you guys up?
We should just read them all.
Anytime.
I'd love
10
that.
hours.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
10 hours.
5 days, 1 season a day.
Bunch of pee breaks.
No pee breaks.
Roll piss
I
breaks.
have to go. I've really just kind of I've locked my entire family pretty much in the attic for several hours. I have to allow them to make some noise or get on the internet or something.
We love you, Maria.
Love you.
Bye. Be safe.
Miss you.
Not about you all.
Bye, Maria.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh.
Thanks, everyone. It was been so generous of you all to give you time. And I think anything we can raise is just going to be so meaningful, essentially, and string. So they're both thrilled that we're doing this for them. So anything we can give would be really much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We have to go.
So nice to see all of you.
Nice to see you guys too.
You guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Everybody. Love you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Love you guys.
Thanks for organizing, Tat. Thank you.
Thank you, Plum Club.
Thanks for being
Thanks,
here.
No one wants to hang up first.
I know. I don't want to.
You hang up.
Oh, you hang up.
You hang up.
Correct.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, dudes.
The best. Love you all.
I have the last question.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy, everybody.
Bye, guys.
You too.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.